What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated TonyTGD coming at you with the live interview with me, myself. That's right, this is the Cyrus Martin interview that I did. Now, I could have captured this in full screen, but I thought it was very important to get the chat captured too. So you're going to get the full chat, the full video, the full audio. I did speed it up to 2 times speed, so the video won't be that long. It'll be about an hour and a half. But you might need to slow it down if you can't hear us properly. The sweet spot is probably slowing it down to about 75% speed. That way Cyrus is talking faster, but I'm talking a little bit slower because I talk fast as it is. So me at 2 times speed is almost illegible, unhearable, however the fuck you want to say it. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to go ahead, push play on the video, turn my mic off, and let the audio do what it does.
Hey everybody, it's me, Cyrus. This is Video Game Virus, and today we got a special guest with us. We're going to be doing an interview with TonyTGD. I've got him up on Discord right now. Tony, how you doing, man?
What's up, Cyrus?
Hey, so today we're going to have a discussion about probably a lot of different things. We're just going to kind of spitball this and go in whatever direction the conversation takes us. But before we get too far into it, let me give you an opportunity to just introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are.
What's up, everybody? This is the often imitated, never duplicated TonyTGD. I've been a video game journalist, regular journalist, reviewer, whatever you want to call it, for like 20 years. I have been asked to submit dialogue to a couple of video games. Nothing you guys want to know about, because trust me, they're not your cup of tea. I was asked to submit a treatment for a movie. I've done a lot of web content for different websites, various things. So I have a little bit of experience, a little bit of background in these things. Mike says I'm a bit quiet, so I'll try to talk louder.
Oh, you're a little... Okay.
You guys want to know,
I'm sorry.
go ahead and ask me. It's cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, feel free to bring up questions in the chat or, discuss whatever like normal, It's, oh, I got the wrong screen. Hang on. There it is. I was like, which screen is it? I have so many of these little scenes set up in OBS. I got it. Okay, so I have some questions for you. And if you have any questions for me, Tony, feel free to ask me as well. We can kind of maybe alternate questions or however you want to do it. I got a lot of things I want to talk to you about. So do you have anything you want to start with, or do you want me to go?
You go. I mean, we can just discuss. We'll eventually meander our way around everything, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. First off, you say that you're often imitated and never duplicated. Why is that?
Well, the thing is, my real name is it's actually very, very common, especially in the city that I live. So just looking me up, there's just so many people that have the same name. It's just ridiculous. That's kind of why I don't even use my real name. I use the TonyTGD to try to give myself my own brand, my own identity, if you will.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's fair. You don't use your real name?
No.
Huh. Okay. Well, the only reason I asked is because I was getting ready for this and I was looking up your stuff and I thought that was your name. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Okay. So on your show or on your channel, you say that you're the #1 Amico YouTuber. What do you mean by that?
That's just me talking.
I figured. I'm being goofy, okay? I'm just asking you crazy stuff right now. We're just trying to break the ice a little bit. So these are not serious questions right now.
You gotta do something. You gotta make yourself stand out. You gotta give yourself a little personality, a little identity.
Yeah,
I know people watch some of the other Amico YouTubers they watch, so I figure if I say that, give them a little dig. I probably got the smallest channel out of all of us, so just saying that, I know all you guys roll your eyes and probably all this like asshole saying this shit.
Well, we don't have to assume that. We're just having a conversation right now. Different people have different thoughts and feelings, but we're just having a conversation, talking, and we're going to learn about each other, and we're going to figure out what's going on. Because there's been probably, I think it's fair to address that, there's been quite a bit of drama that's taken place, and maybe some assumptions that have been made. And I know you'd like a chance to clear the air about some of the things that people have suggested, and I'm trying to give you that opportunity. So I do have some questions I'll ask you about some things to kind of do that, to kind of try to get to the heart of some of the concerns that I've seen and that you talked about. And if there's things you want to bring up as well, then let's do that. Let's absolutely air some of this stuff out. I think it's a good opportunity for that.
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
like I said, just know whenever you're ready, just go ask questions. It's your show, Cyrus. Go ahead and run it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I just trying to get a handle on what you do on the internet. In the course of trying to figure out who you are and trying to figure out what our conversations were going to be about here, I did do a little bit of research. I don't really consider myself a journalist. I know that that's something you kind of wear that on your sleeve. But I did go to school for television, radio, broadcasting. So I have worked for TV stations before, and I guess that kind of is in my brain that I need to research things before I'm going to really do like a live broadcast with somebody and do an interview with them. So I did do a little bit of research to try to figure out some stuff. That's why I said I was kind of surprised when you told me that you're not using your real name. Maybe I don't understand that exactly. I'd like you to, if you can, clarify something for me. I noticed that you've got a YouTube channel, which it's kind of small right now, but there's obviously potential for growth, which I think is absolutely possible. And I know you've written a lot of things in your blog, The Geek Getaway, right?
Yeah.
And I did look through some of that, which was really cool. I like your blog; it's very interesting. And then I found some like reviews and things that you had done for another website. Do you not want me to talk about that website? Because I remember somebody had mentioned it once and you got upset about it. Is it okay to mention that website?
I've written for multiple websites. Which particular one are we talking about?
Video game articles, reviews, overpowered noobs. Is that okay?
Overpowered noobs?
Yeah.
Noob?
Yeah.
I'm guessing you saw the YouTube video that Sidolpha did.
Well, I did some searching, and if you search through Google, a lot of things come up, just based on the Geek Getaway. And it was really interesting. You mind me kind of letting everybody know what I'm talking about? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So this is where the Overpowered Noobs site, which is actually pretty cool. You got some interesting reviews. There's an RPG that you did a review for that I thought was pretty cool. One thing that I didn't understand was on that page is where I saw that I got a little confused when you said that you weren't using your real name because you had it listed on this page. I don't know if that's a continuation of what you're talking about, using a fake name.
No, see, some sites required you to use your real name. They wouldn't let me just use my pseudonym. So this particular one, they're like, hey, you got to use your real name. That's why they added the thing in the middle. That's only the gamer dad.
So your real name is Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was saying my real name isn't TonyTGD. Like that's.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Obviously, that wouldn't be a real name. Okay. Well, I just want to make sure because I remember somebody had posted this a while back and you got upset about it. So I want to make sure it was cool with you, and since you said it was, that's why we're talking about it. Okay. So Tony is your name.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. So yeah, you've obviously done quite a bit of stuff. You've got the Overpowered Noobs reviews that you're doing. You've got the.
Let me stop you real quick. This Overpowered Noob stuff here. This is actually not all of it. It was a situation between me and the website. So I don't work for them no more.
Oh, this is just old stuff then. This is from the past. Okay. So more.
If I could explain real quick.
Yeah.
This goes into like my experience. See, I covered a game called Criminal Girls 1. I covered it for the site. It was the first review copy that they got from a major publication. The game just sucked. So I gave it a bad review. So what happened was the website got mad that I gave the game a bad review. So they let me go and they completely changed the review I did to make it seem like it was a good review. And if you look up Overpowered Noobs or OP Noobs in YouTube, OP Noobs and Sid Alpha actually made 2 videos on the situation because it was so egregious what they had done.
Well, they took that down though, right? It's not still up, is it?
The review is still up there, but it's not connected to my name because when I saw what they did, I told them to take my name off of it.
Okay. Well,
I
that's
actually
crazy.
had on the Geek Getaway. I actually had that review because I was like, I'm gonna put it up to show everybody what the original review was.
Wow. Well, you definitely don't want people putting things out there that are trying to misrepresent your thoughts and opinions. You definitely don't want that. If somebody's using your name and basically making up a whole bunch of stuff to make it seem like you're saying something that you're not, that's not good. So I'm glad that you don't that's not out there with your name on it anymore. That's horrible.
Right.
And more recently, I think you've been doing the Geek Getaway blog. There's quite a bit there, and I noticed like we were talking a little bit, and you've gotten some pretty good feedback from people. I think some pretty good responses from people that are checking out your work. So that's good. And hopefully that'll carry over for you on YouTube and continue to build what's going on there.
I've actually had some bigger YouTubers reference articles I've done, and I've had other websites reference the articles I've done on the Geek Getaway.
Well, that's good. That's really good. That's awesome. So yeah, you've got a lot going on. You're writing. You've got a lot of articles. You've been writing for quite a while, and now you're doing YouTube, and you're putting out a lot of interesting videos. I know one of the videos that I saw on your channel was really interesting. It was actually about me, and it was a cool thumbnail where I was dressed up like a pirate. I like that.
I'm a little upset about that though, Cyrus, because you took down your video, so no one knows what I'm referencing.
Well, I don't like to have a lot of drama around. I really don't, and it's tough for me to convince some people of that because I tend to occasionally get mixed up in drama, but I really don't like it. So I don't leave stuff like that on my channel, especially when I get accused of clout chasing or using videos to try to drum up subscribers or something like that. I end up taking that stuff down because I do not want to give people the satisfaction of thinking that I'm using them for anything. So anyway, the video that you made was back in November, and the title was "Sorry, but I am the fun police." Definitely not talking about the Intellivision Amico. I remember the video that you're referencing in that. We hadn't really talked about this, so this is a good opportunity to talk about it. The video that you were referencing that you were doing a response to was one that I made called "You Were Not the Fun Police." And I think that you thought that I was addressing just the situation with the Amico, but
No, I knew what you were addressing.
oh, you knew what I was talking about? Okay, well, the title says definitely not talking about the Intellivision Amico, so it kind of led me to believe you thought I was talking about the Intellivision Amico, right?
If you look at some of the older videos, I used to put that on as like a little troll, like I'd be like, I'm playing this game. It's definitely not an Intellivision Amico.
Oh, okay. So you're just having some fun with the title there. You weren't. I see what you're saying. So,
Yeah.
so you weren't being sarcastic about that. Okay, that's whatever. Well, just so you know, the video you were talking about that I made, just so everybody is clear and understands what we're talking about here. I did make a video where it was called "You're Not the Fun Police," and this was a video talking about how other people want to go on other people's channels and tell them how to run their channels. And this was in reference to a situation that was actually happening with a friend of mine because he had been attacked by a very large YouTuber who did a video about him. And I don't want to give him the satisfaction of naming him, but if you're following my channel, you probably know who I'm talking about. But my friend got bombarded by hundreds of this guy's fans because he dared to question something in the video game realm. So my video was addressing how people do that to each other, how crappy it is to go on somebody's channel and tell them how to run their channel and fill it up with all these hateful comments, and also make a video response to somebody where you completely misrepresent their thoughts and opinions. So that's what that was about, just so everybody's aware of what I'm talking about. And you would agree that that's crappy, right?
Going on someone's channel and shitting it up, yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah. The problem that we have right now on my channel, anyway, I don't know about everybody's channel, I really want to tell you about mine, but the problem that I have right now is there's a few people that come on my channel and say horrible things to people, including me. They talk about my divorce. They constantly call me fat and make fun of me and do things like that, trying to bully me around and stuff like that. They're just really horrible things. In fact, one guy who was in a chat of mine actually told me that basically he hopes I die of COVID-19.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked up. And some of these people you know pretty well because they're in your comment sections as well. Like this Volk guy. I don't know if you've had it. You seem to have a different reaction and relationship to what he says, but he's definitely somebody who seems to want to really cause a lot of turmoil on my channel and say a lot of things that are just, really nasty things. So I hope that your experience is better with people like that. Do you notice that kind of thing on your channel a lot?
Well, I get some stuff on my channel, but no, I just delete it right away. Ban you. You can talk about the video. You can talk about me. But when you start attacking the other commenters or like making things that will get my channel in trouble because you're saying things that are vastly inappropriate, then you're just gone.
Well, it's interesting because some of these guys, like I was talking about, they go on your channel and they leave comments. I didn't know exactly what kind of comments because I don't read all the comments for everybody's channels, but I was just curious. I noticed that he's there. I noticed that there are some people that are regular trolls on my channel, and they're going on your channel leaving comments, but they're not bothering you, right?
Right.
That's interesting. I wonder why that is. Like, they're not bothering you at all, but they definitely are causing all these problems for me. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's probably because they see my view as a more critical, more negative take on the Amico, so they agree with me. So they're probably just like, oh, this guy's one of us.
Yeah, but the comments that I'm talking about are not even Amico related. I'm talking about like just nasty, hateful things. You know, I mean, you heard me say it, and you even reacted to say that was horrible, right? It's really weird.
People have said horrible things to me, but like I said, I delete those. Those just go. And a lot of comments, you know what? I don't even look. If I don't get the notification on my phone, I don't even know the comments there. I don't even look.
Okay.
I don't even watch my own videos.
Well, well, you should watch your own videos. You got to see if at least the video rendered correctly and posted properly. You got at least watch. Well, you should watch them at least once. I mean, I'm just telling you, you can do whatever you want. I'm not trying to tell you how to run your channel, but as some advice, if I had any advice, that's what I would say.
It's good advice, but I don't really like the sound of my own voice. I think I sound weird for some reason. Number two, I'm so bad at it. The other day, I uploaded a video. I uploaded the wrong video, so I had a title that was completely different from what was playing on the screen. I didn't realize it for like 4 hours.
Wow. Well, like I said, that's just something I would probably suggest. You know, especially trying to grow the channel. That would be, you know, that's just something I put out there.
Well, that's one of the reasons why some of these comments don't get deleted. Like, if Volt's not coming in there saying anything really, really wild, I leave the comment because I need the engagement.
Right. So, pretty much what you're saying is, you're aware. I assume that you're aware of what they're doing, though. Like, you see what the types of comments these people leave on my channel and other people's channels, right? But as long as they're not doing it on your channel, you're fine with it because you just need the engagement. I mean, I'm just trying.
I can't control what they do on other people's channels.
Right.
As long as they're not shitting my channel up, that's as far as I can go. I can be like, hey, they're not gonna listen to me. And if I start saying, hey, don't do this, then they're gonna start shitting up my channel, and I gotta deal with trolls.
Well, dude, just don't piss them off because I don't know what else to tell you. And, you know, if those are the people visiting your channel regularly, good luck because some of us have had some problems. You know, you got to kind of take people, you know, at the full, at the full scope of what they do and who they are. People will give you evidence of who they are as a person. And it may not be on your channel, but if you see it happening, just a heads up. What goes around comes around, and people like that, they are who they are. They say crazy things, like you even admitted. And as long as you don't piss them off, I guess you can, use them for that engagement. But just be careful. That's all I'm trying to warn you about.
Like I said, I'm not friends with these guys. I don't even know who the hell they are. I think Volt came from Darius Truxton's. I think he's one of Darius's people.
Oh, interesting. That's interesting. I don't know all the histories of like where everybody comes from and how they originally became involved in all of this mess. And by the way, go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's so much like I didn't realize how cliquish YouTube is. There's like retro cliques and like this clique and the Metal Jesus clique, and I was just like, damn, I guess they all feud with each other. So
yeah, it's weird, right? But yeah, this I just was gonna say like this particular situation, just be careful with those guys. So yeah, I don't know. So I was going to ask you, I almost forgot, since we were talking about like how people got involved, what all that was, how did you become involved in all of this stuff? Like what, if you can remember, and you may not even be able to, but if you can remember, what was the origins of how you kind of got involved with the Amico, with TonyTGD, with all this kind of stuff?
Oh, I remember like it was yesterday. So I was friends with Vera Dark, and she got in contact with Tommy about doing an interview. It was right around the time, she had just did a video about the OOF situation with Roblox.
Right.
So I wrote an article about Tommy potentially suing over OOF. And I remember he was in the comment section of her video. So I commented to him, and he replied, and it was just like a cordial, whatever. Hey, I heard you're suing, blah blah blah. This is what I've researched, and the law. Maybe he might be out of luck because it's taking too long to sue or whatever, right? He was like, no, my lawyers are real good, blah blah. So I took that as, all right, he's gonna sue, right? Because he's talking about lawyers and stuff. I'm not talking about like I'm talking to the Roblox people. I'm talking to lawyers. So I just ran the article, whatever Tom's planning to.
I see what happened. So you kind of made a leap there.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Then I think he was on Twitter. Somewhere he said no, he's not suing. It was wrong, right? So I'm pretty sure I put an update on it. Slapped the update, boom, he's not suing. Whatever. And when I found out that he's doing the Amico, I started looking into it, and I remember I had got him on Twitter. I like DM'd him, hey, this is Rico. I'd love to talk to you about the OOF situation. He didn't reply. Apparently I spelled his name wrong because I was on my phone and I spelled it wrong, whatever. So I guess that he thought I was being disrespectful or something. Whatever. He had mentioned it, so I'm assuming that if he mentioned it, in some level bothered him.
Well, did you ever apologize? I mean, for
I didn't realize until he brought it up.
Yeah, but I mean, like once you realized that you were wrong, that you had kind of made that leap about like what you thought was going on there, did you ever run a retraction or give some kind of apology or anything?
Put the update on the article, but I don't think I apologized. I think we talked about it.
Well, yeah, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, or I'm not judging you. I just was curious about it. That could have obviously. Do you think that contributed to, the situation kind of becoming inflamed a little bit?
No, because it hadn't even gotten to that point yet. Because I was still just like a little blip on his radar. I don't even think he paid any attention to me.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But what happened was, so when I started looking into the Amico and I started watching the little interviews on YouTube, there was a comment in one of the videos that said that television entertainment, on their official channels, deleting comments that are negative.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, this is interesting. Let me look into this. So I went to the channel. I left a comment. I wrote an article about it, and everything is documented. Like I took screenshots of every step of the way. So I left a comment. It went through like an hour. I even timed it. It was like an hour moderation process before it went live. So it went live. So I was like, okay, boom, I'm not banned from the channel. You can see the comment. There it is. It's a positive comment. So then I left a negative comment. This thing is garbage. Something like that. Like this thing is garbage. No good. There was no profanity, no swear words, nothing out of hand. Waited the hour. It never went up. It never went live. So then I edited the first comment from like this is awesome to like this is garbage. And I waited the hour again and it never went up.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, well, obviously that's I tested it out. He's getting rid of the negative comments. And I might have made a little leap into why I was like, well, maybe he's trying to make it look like everybody's loving it to kind of build up this positive steam, like this astroturf. And that's how I left it. I didn't even say it was like a definite. I said it was like this is my theory on why it was going on.
Okay.
Well, apparently somebody that was on Atari Age saw the article. They posted it to Atari Age. Hey, Tony wrote this article. Blah blah blah. They framed it real negative, like he's saying this stuff and blah blah blah. So then that's when Tommy. I was like, age later, Tommy got to the article and he was like, oh yeah, well this guy he's a horrible person. He does this that and the other. Like he slandered me. He literally wrote things that were lies in his first. Like I wasn't even on Atari Age at the point, but he wrote things that were lies. Like he said I was swearing at Dean Takahashi.
like I've called Dean like a muppet and stuff like that, but I've never swore at him because I mean he's not even blocked me. Dean hasn't even blocked me, so I'm pretty sure if I swore at Dean on Twitter, he would block me by now. And Tommy even himself was like, yeah, I blocked him on YouTube and Twitter, and he didn't block me on Twitter for like 6 months after he wrote that. So it was like, you know, he was already building this narrative that I was like this bad guy. I did this, wrote a horrible article about him. So I was like, all right, whatever. Then the guy who was on Atari Age, he came to Reddit and was like, hey, you need to come to Atari Age and blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, whatever, I go. And as soon as I got there, like it was already like everybody was geeked up, like, oh, this is gonna be a fucking epic throwdown between these two. They're gonna get on there and talk shit about each other. And everyone was all a buzz with what was going on, and I was like, hey, this is what I wrote, whatever.
Okay.
That's, where we started.
Right. Okay. Well, obviously the situation got crazy, right? Got out of hand.
Here's the other thing, Cyrus. I see that Retro Bro saying that I said this is fucking garbage. You can go to the article and see what's written there. I don't know what Tommy's told anybody or showed anybody, whatever.
Well, you said, but you said that you wrote it was garbage. I mean, maybe you didn't put the word fucking, but you definitely said it was garbage.
Right, but that's what he's saying. He's saying it was profanity, and that's why the comment was deleted. That's how they're trying to frame it. That I swore, I cussed, so he banned me for cussing rather than for being negative.
Well, okay.
Here's the thing. Like, let's say that was the truth. Let's say I really put this was fucking garbage, right? And they banned me for profanity. If you go to those videos, there's actually still profanity, but like, oh, this is fucking awesome. I can't believe this shit. It's so good. Like, so there's profanity still in the comment section, but it's positive, so that didn't get deleted. So if profanity was the issue, then those comments should also be deleted, no?
Well, you know what the real issue is? You went on his channel and posted that the thing was fucking garbage. You didn't say fucking maybe, I don't know, but you definitely said it was garbage. Why did you do that?
Well, because the whole point of the thing was that the guy said he was deleting negative comments.
Yeah, but that doesn't give you a right to go on there and say that. I mean, why would you do that?
Because how would I know if he was deleting negative comments if I didn't leave a negative comment?
Even if he's deleting negative comments, you are aware that a lot of YouTubers curate their comment sections. That's absolutely something that businesses will do.
Right, yeah, I'm aware of that. Here's the thing. He said he wasn't doing that. That's part of the thing. The issue was he said he wasn't doing it. And people were saying online in different comment sections he was.
Okay. I don't have the whole... I mean, there's probably... What do people say, right? There's three sides to every story, right? I'm not calling you a liar. What I'm saying is there's probably a lot of things that happened here, and maybe you're not even aware of, like, everything, right?
Right. I'm sure there's other stuff. Maybe there was a bunch of trolls, and I didn't, I just came in at the wrong time, and he backed me in with them, I don't know.
Well, my thing is, you can't, like you said earlier, you can't do anything about what other people say. You can't do anything about what other people do. But you are responsible for your own behavior, right? And now, you may have thought, I'm just going to test and see if he's going to delete this. But the way you chose to do that was very negative. I mean, you're going into his comment section, and it's going to appear, if you think about it from his point of view, like you're in there trying to start a bunch of crap, right? I mean, if I went on your comment section and I said, Getaway's garbage, I mean, what is that? It seems like I'm going on there to start something, right?
If you would put on my channel the Getaway's garbage, I would heart your comment. And
fair enough, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like somebody,
like I said, maybe I could have been negative in a less obvious way, but I wanted it. I was like, how do I test it to make sure that it's negative?
Well, I just want you to understand it's that your plan, what you were trying to do, was not known to everyone. Okay, so people didn't know you were. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you read the article site, it tells you that that's what I was doing. Like it says in the article, I'm going to leave a negative comment to see if he deletes it.
Okay.
So it's like.
And you posted.
Like I said,
okay, that's fine. Like I said, it is what it is. It is what it is.
I understand. I understand. I don't hold it against them.
I'm glad you don't hold it against them. One thing, if you don't mind, we kind of want to move on because I got a lot of things I want to talk about. You shouldn't hold things against people. It's not a good idea because it just weighs you down. It just makes you miserable. But I know that there were some things that happened, not just negatively. Not every interaction that you had with Tommy is something that I would consider to be negative. There was actually a pretty funny thing that you and he had done where you had made a bet over the MLB license. Do you remember that?
Oh, don't
What happened with that? What's the story with that?
Wait, first off, if anybody thinks that Tommy would really make me the CEO of Intellivision, he lost his bet is crazy, okay? So there's no way that this was a real... I don't even think it's possible legally for him to just be like, hey, guys, he's the fucking boss now because I lost the bet. I don't think that's how it works. Pretty sure.
That's a pretty funny bet. It's a pretty funny bet, actually.
What happened was, on Atari Age, Tommy was talking about the television's going to have a baseball game, right? And I made an off comment. I said, people would rather play a licensed baseball game than just a regular Intellivision baseball, right?
Yeah.
So Tommy, well, how do you know we don't have the MLB license? I said, well, it's my understanding that Sony just signed an exclusive deal with MLB to make video games. So just go out there, I was like, I don't think you have it, right? So then, like, well,
why did you say that? Why did you say that?
Because Sony literally just signed it. It was a big article. Sony signs exclusive MLB license.
Oh, okay. Did you tell him that was why you said that?
Yeah. I think like Sony signed an exclusive deal. I don't think you can get it. Maybe maybe the article is wrong or something, but maybe there's some kind of loophole because you're not like a modern console or whatever. But so that's where I was coming from, right?
Okay.
I'm hard-headed. So we're throwing bans at each other, and he's like, well, if I got it, you got to delete your account here and never talk about Amico again, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, but if I lose, you could be the CEO. I'm like, okay, whatever, right? He's like, this is in February. It was February 3rd. I have a really good memory for these things. February 3rd. Right?
Okay.
So he's like, well, our next press release, you're going to be really sorry, right? So, okay. So the press release comes, right?
Yeah.
And there's no Major League Baseball announcement in the press release for like March or late February, right? It's like, well, there's no press release, there's no MLB. I guess you lose, right? That would be the assumption. You lost, Tommy. He's like, no, because we can't announce it yet because we're going to coincide with the baseball season, right?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, fine, right? No, we're changing the rules again, whatever, okay? When the baseball season, then COVID hit, that really fucked up the baseball season.
Right.
We didn't even know I was going to play, right? So nothing happened with the bet. It was like a couple weeks go by, blah blah blah. And then so baseball's back on, right? I was like, well, what's I'm joking around in comments like, yeah, I'm the real CEO of Intellivision, blah blah. That's what I do. So what ends up happening is, so he's like, we get into it again in one of the comment sections. I don't even remember where. It might have been on one of your videos. I said something, what's up with the MLB bet, right? So he's like, well, we're going to announce it, with the playoffs. When the playoffs start, we'll announce the MLB license, right? And I said, okay, well, you got to make sure that you had the license when we made the bet. If you got the license after February, that's no good, right? The bet was on February. Yeah. Right? So he got on that. Why you change the rules? I'm like, no, we literally bet in February. You can't get the license in June and then try to pass it off that you had it all along, right? So he goes, okay, well, I'll tell you what. After I make the announcement, I'll send you the paperwork I'll send you the paperwork that shows that we had the license, right?
Mhm.
Okay, boom, I agree. We agree again. This is the deal. You're gonna send me the paperwork after you make the announcement. Fast forward to the announcement. Don't send me no paperwork, Si.
This is a really silly situation, isn't it? This whole,
It is.
yeah.
So I'm like, you didn't send me the paperwork, so I guess I win again, right? Those are the conditions.
Okay, so what we're getting at here is that this whole bet situation, because a lot of people felt like you welched on that bet. A lot of people felt like you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. A lot of people have mentioned that to me. But
Because they all came in at the end, like when he's finally like, well, here, I'm going to send Mad Max the paperwork. He changed the rules on the bet like 3 times.
the point is, if we really want to be straight up here, this was a ridiculous bet. This was a bet. No, yeah, this is not a real thing, and nobody thought you were really going to delete your channel or whatever. I don't even know what the parameters of the bet were.
I was deleting my Atari Age account, which ended up getting banned anyway. So.
Oh, well, okay, well, whatever. I don't know what goes on at Atari Age. I've been there just a few times ever in my life, so I'm really not. I don't even know what that's all about. But yeah, that situation. It's just a ridiculous situation. We can move on from that. It is what it is. But if we do want to get more serious, because there are some serious allegations against you that I'd like to talk to you about, and you mentioned that you want to clear the air a little bit as well because you felt like some people have said some things about you that are misleading and not true at all. So I'd like to kind of go into that if you'd like to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So you had mentioned that there were some accusations that people said that you had been directly contacting other YouTubers. What's that about? What's going on with that?
Smash JT was friends with Veridark at the time, right? So I was also in her Discord, and I talked to Smash a couple times. Friendly, nothing. We weren't like good friends. We just we're cordial or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So then Smash made his video where he ragged on Amico, and then Tommy contacted him, did his interview. He flips it, and now he's all in on Amico. So then when that happened, all the people were buzzing saying, Tommy paid him, Tommy got him on payroll, Tommy this, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So being cordial with him, I hit him up on email. I says, then I can send you the emails if you want to see them. But basically, I said, hey, there's rumors going around about Tommy paying off his YouTubers. I'm just, we're cool or whatever. So I figured I'd come to you and let you know what people are saying. He's like, well, what do you mean? Like, yeah, well, basically they're saying that Tommy paid you to, like Amico now. I was like, since we're cool or whatever, I'm asking you, straight up man. And he's like, no, Tommy didn't pay me. I really like Amico, whatever. So I'm like, cool, okay, I believe we're cool. You got no reason to doubt you. That's fine. That was the end of it, right? As far as I was concerned. There was rumors. I looked into it. He said, you want to get paid? And that's how you do it, When there's multiple parties involved in the thing, you reach out to all parties involved. Hey, like if they said, hey, Cy's dating Scarlett Johansson, I would reach out to Scarlett Johansson. Hey, are you dating Cy?
If you figure out how to reach out to Scarlett Johansson, let me know.
After. I'll show you off here.
Okay, all right.
So then I'll reach out to you, right, and ask you about it. And then, that's how you formulate your article. That's how you do your journalism. Mm-hmm. So I did that, right? So then apparently Smash forwarded the email to Tommy. So then Tommy jumps on Atari and he's all like, yeah, this guy's contacting the YouTubers, telling them I bought him off. And I don't even know if Smash sent him the first email that was like all real nice. He just sent him the part where I said, hey, people are saying you got bought off, whatever. I don't know what the discussion was between Smash and Tommy. But when Tommy came back, he was all heated and he was like, I was paying, I was making accusations. I was just asking a question to somebody I thought I was cool with. So I even told Jeff, I was like, hey, what the hell? Why are you running off and sending emails to Tommy that I contacted you? He was like, well, if you were talking about, if someone was talking about you want to know, wouldn't you? I'm like, dude, I sent you a fucking private email between me and you, right? You don't go off and fucking send someone your emails and forward someone emails that someone sent you. He's like, well, there was nothing private to that. And that was like the last time I ever talked to fucking Smash.
Okay. Well, since you're talking about, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like if you send me an email asking me questions about whatever, right? About the bet, say like, hey, I'm not gonna go ahead and forward Tommy. Hey, Cy was asking me about the baseball bet. No, that's punk shit.
Well, what if let me ask you this: what if hypothetically you were emailing employees of Intellivision? Would they be okay to forward that to Tommy?
You mean when I contacted Nick Richards, who I was connected to on LinkedIn?
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't sure that. Yeah. Okay. So you contacted Nick Richards, the CFO of Intellivision. And what were you talking about?
I asked him about a few comments that Tommy made. I want to know if the company was, this is what they're standing by. And I asked him about the investment because Tommy had just mentioned the investment, and being the CFO, he'd be the man. He's the money man, right?
Okay.
Nick didn't respond. There was no reply to the email. Article didn't go nowhere. Nothing got written. That was the end of it.
So you haven't have you been commenting on LinkedIn profiles and things like that? What have you been doing on LinkedIn?
I don't even have my LinkedIn. It's deleted.
I mean, you didn't post things on people's LinkedIn accounts and things like that on there? You didn't say anything about people? Or?
I think I made one comment to an article someone posted or something. I don't know.
You know what LinkedIn is for, right? I mean,
it's for business.
That's right.
I was connected to guys from Squaresoft, guys from other writers, other web content creators. I think
the reason I'm asking that question is I think that you consider yourself to be a journalist. You've talked about that. You refer to yourself as being a journalist, right? So I'm just trying to figure out, a journalist is supposed to get the facts and find out a story and try to stay as objective as possible, even though you may have a story with a certain angle that you're trying to get to. I'm trying to figure out what your motivations are, with this situation, with the leaving comments on people's LinkedIn. That's very interesting. I'm trying to figure out why you did it.
I know what you're talking about, though, Cy, because I literally just told you I did it. I said I left a comment on some article that someone posted, and I think that's it.
So, okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So you left a comment on some article. It was on LinkedIn or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm not even sure how it works. I think it's it was probably posted on Facebook and then shared on LinkedIn or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. Well, this is all, like I said, other people can discuss later. We're just trying to get some things kind of aired out here. One other thing that I wanted to ask you about was you had mentioned in one of your videos that you had received a press packet with some information that you had gotten about the Amico. Had some photos and things. You did a video about it because you were trying to talk about how some of the video stuff had Vimeo on it and stuff like that. Yeah. What did you do to get that press packet? Because I've never gotten one. I've never actually seen one. I don't even know how you get a press packet. How did you get one?
Because I'm a journalist. What
does that mean?
there's websites where you have to apply and register and let them know. You give them your credentials and they look at you and they approve whether or not you belong on there. And it gives you all the press releases, the press packets, if you look, you said you've looked at my website, you'll see that I have on some of the articles, some of the reviews, it literally says I received a review copy. These pictures are courtesy of such and such company.
Okay, so you just applied the normal manner. You talked to, who did you talk to get that press packet?
I didn't talk to it. It came in the website. I'm talking about it's gamespress.com.
Okay. So
when someone does a press release, it goes up on. It's like an aggregate for press releases, and Intellivision did a press release, and that was the stuff that was in the press release.
Okay. So you didn't do anything. You just went through the normal process. Anybody could have done to get that.
Not anybody.
Well,
So like I said,
any journalist could have done.
You have to apply. They have to look at your stuff and make sure that you're just not some guy in the street trying to get access to stuff.
Okay, so I just wanted to ask you about it because like I said, I've never seen one of these things. I didn't know what the process was. Like, I want to make sure I understood that. And like I said, I think there had been some concern about how you got that. So I didn't know if you were aware of that. If there was, if
I don't know if there was concern because, like I said, if you look, I get press releases. If you go to the website, it literally says press release. And I have a press release. It'll be on day of press release. I get emails with press releases all day long.
Okay. Well, like I said, we're airing this stuff out, and I don't have, I'm just getting your information. That's all we're doing right now. We're just talking. So if there's more to that, y'all, talk about it later. Let's see. What else did I have I wanted to talk about? I think that I had a few things listed here that I wanted to get to, and some of them they're kind of. It's funny how silly sometimes things become. Like, you did a video talking about Intellivision. It was entitled "Intellivision Amico. Do the manufacturing numbers add up?" You assert that Tommy may be creating artificial scarcity for his launch. What did you mean?
I didn't say that at all.
No, you did. I actually heard you say those exact words.
I don't remember ever saying artificial scarcity.
Yeah, you absolutely did. I listened to it today. So you said he might be creating artificial scarcity for his launch. So you don't remember saying that at all?
No. It doesn't even sound like something I would say.
Well, go back and watch your video entitled "Intellivision Amico. Do the manufacturing numbers add up?" Because you absolutely say it in that video. So this is why I was talking about you should watch your own videos. Because sometimes you might say something and not remember it at all,
Yeah, I know the whole point of the thing was that he wouldn't be able to manufacture the amount of units necessary for a global launch.
Right. And what were you basing that on?
Numbers that he gave on his target. He said that we're able to produce X amount of consoles in a day. So then I just multiplied the amount of days times how many months till launch and
okay. The number. So he stated that they were going to produce a certain amount a day, and you were saying based on the amount that he said he could produce a day and the launch date being April, that he was, I don't know, you don't remember saying the accusation, that he was creating artificial scarcity. So it's hard for me to question you about if you don't remember saying it.
The whole point wasn't that he was creating artificial scarcity. The whole point was that he wasn't going to be able to. If you only have, like he said, he's going to be in Walmart, right? There's like 4,000 Walmarts. So if you put one console in every Walmart, that's 4,000, and that leaves you only X amount left for Austria, Germany, Italy.
So he said that number was for the whole world.
He just said this is what I can produce on my line per day. So you're going to produce X amount until launch.
This is kind of another example of how we get caught up in a kind of pointless, ridiculous argument, right? Like, what is this? What are we even talking about, right? Like, we're not even sure what the number. Like, when he says launch, what does that mean? Did you ask him? Like, is he talking about the whole world? Did you ask him about that?
Well, if you look at the video, it shows.
I did look at the video. You should look at it too.
I'll watch it later.
Okay.
If you look at that, maybe it's that video or the other one. There's another video that shows all the different countries that have where you can pre-order them. So we're assuming that, let's say that people are pre-ordering a console at a decent clip. They would still need to produce a decent amount for each country. They got to go there. I mean, unless you're going to stagger the pre-order somehow. Because some of the launch dates,
go ahead.
31st. Like some of the launch dates will say March 31st. Some of them say April 1st, April 3rd.
Okay.
I agree with assumptions in the video, but that was just my take on things he said. But the numbers together, I said, well, I don't think it's going to be able to make a.
Okay, that's fair. I appreciate you saying that, actually, because that's an important distinction. And a couple of times that you've admitted that you had made sort of a leap, that you had made an assumption, and it led you to a certain conclusion. And that's really cool for you to say that, because a lot of people would never be willing to concede that, hey, maybe I kind of made a leap there. Maybe I made a couple of assumptions that brought me to a certain conclusion. And that's been sort of at the heart of a lot of the conflict around this whole situation is assumptions, right? Not just from you. I'm talking about just like in the whole community. I don't know if you've seen that, but I've definitely seen that. So I just want to give you some credit for owning that and just saying, hey, you know what? I may have made some assumptions there. So thank you for that.
We get so much information. Like Tommy will give you like 90% of the information. So you got to kind of make an assumption on that last 10%. Like, well,
you don't have to. In fact, you shouldn't. In fact, that's how these things happen.
Well, if you're going to make content, if you're going to talk about it, you can't.
No. You're a reporter. You're a journalist. That is the last thing you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to make those kind of assumptions. That actually goes against the entire principle of being, a journalist.
Right.
So that's something. Go ahead.
Let me stop you for a second. You see, if you go to the website is the journalism side. You go to the YouTube channel, this is the entertainment side.
Oh, dude, you need to make that more clear. If that's the case,
there's a video that says like, what is the point of this channel or whatever. I'll tell you. Okay. Things that don't on the website are going to go on the channel.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to tell you is, your channel puts out content, right? And if people respond to that content and they're responding to it incorrectly because your content is not journalism on your videos, you need to, dude, it's kind of your responsibility to make that more clear. And I know you probably feel like you made it clear by putting out a video, but you got to tell people what they're viewing, what kind of content they're consuming on a regular basis. You got to, a lot of people would probably put that at the beginning or the end of every video and say, this little scroll or this content is not considered journalism. You know what I'm talking about? Like the little fine print, right? That's like a regular thing you see all the time, fine print.
That sounds like a reasonable thing to do.
I think it would save you a lot of grief, dude. Like I think a lot of people make assumptions like we were talking about. And if you can just take a couple of little steps, I think it'll really save you a lot of problems. That's, again, I fucking hate giving advice to people because I'm terrible at it. but this is another thing, I guess, that I'm going to do that. I'm going to tell you some advice. So I appreciate you being receptive to it.
And no, like I said, I mean, if you just look at the tone in the videos compared to the articles, if you look at the some of the stuff isn't even journalism, just me playing games. I don't see how people be like, oh
Well,
this,
yeah. No, I get what you're saying, dude. I'm trying not to. If I'm coming across like I'm being unreasonable with saying something, tell me. But I think you would agree what I'm getting at is a reasonable idea, right? Like,
yeah, that's what you're saying.
because if you're editorializing for entertainment, that's a completely different thing than being a journalist. Those are very different things. And I think people get bent out of shape if they think this guy is purporting what he's doing as though he's just telling the facts, when in fact you're not even intending to do that. You're intending to just be an entertainer, and you're not seeing what the problem is because you're just trying to put out what you think is entertainment content, and you don't understand why everybody's mad when other people are holding you to that standard of facts. And that's why I said, that's all I'm saying. I think you could really do yourself a big favor just by a couple of small little things there. So let me get. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
That sounds reasonable. I mean, it's some of the time. I understand people get confused. It's got the same name. I mean, but that's a branding thing.
It's something you can do something about. I think you would agree with that.
Because I know I see Retro Bro was bringing it up. It's got the same name. The channel's name actually wasn't the Geek Getaway. It actually was TonyTGD.
Okay.
But if you look at the content on the channel, there's content from other people. Because at one point this was going to be more than just me making videos, but situations happened where I could not afford to pay these people anymore. So I had to make some cuts and say, you know what, I can't afford to pay the YouTube content. I'll just do it myself. Fuck it.
Okay. Well, a little bit of context can go a long way, dude. Like just what you just said. Also, that's the kind of small little additional detail that makes a big difference for a lot of people. So you get where I'm coming from. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. You know what I'm trying to say. That kind of little stuff can help a lot. Let me ask you some questions, just flat out questions, because I don't know where you stand on some things. And I think that because of the contentious nature of all of this weird drama that's happened, that a lot of people don't know where you stand on certain things. A lot of people they might lump you in with one group, or they might lump you in with another group, because that's what people like to do, right? They like to say, oh, you're part of this group, or you're over here, or whatever. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to ask you your thoughts. I want to know who Tony is, what Tony thinks, where Tony's coming from, and I just want to get it from you. So let me just ask you some point blank questions. Do you believe that Amico fans are some kind of cult?
Like a cult, like honest to God, sacrifice a goat.
But okay, not a literal cult, but like, how would you interpret that? And do you interpret that to be true in some way?
I think people get hung up on, like, okay, if someone says like, oh, there's a cult, they take everything literal. I think people just, there's like offhand, like, you guys all have the same ideas, you all share the same views. I don't think it's a cult. I've seen you guys, I keep saying you guys, but I've seen people make Amico content, have different opinions. But you have to admit, Cyrus, sometimes it'll be like, as soon as Intellivision makes a video, like 6 videos, Pat makes a video, there's like 4 videos. It just seems like you guys are all like working off the same script.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, I mean, when we see something, I can tell you this from my own point of view. I can't tell you what everybody does. And I really don't want to try to say we, because it's really just you and me talking here. When I see something happen, I have to make a decision about how I'm going to handle that. And sometimes that decision is made from a really methodical, thought out point of view. But a lot of times it's made from an emotional reaction that I have. And that's not always a good thing. Absolutely, I admit that. So when somebody like you just mentioned puts out a video and it's got a bunch of things in it that I would vehemently disagree with and would feel like we're not fair and we're misrepresentative of facts. If I feel like and if it's regarding something that I find interest in, whether it be the Amico or the PlayStation 5 or whatever, something that I'm really interested in or concerned about, I've made videos like that about, Rosario Dawson when she was announced for Mandalorian and everybody was like trying to cancel her over a bunch of nonsense. I made a video about it because I do that sometimes, but I didn't leave it up. I don't think I left it up because I don't like to have that kind of stuff around a lot. This whole situation. Oh, go ahead.
You gotta leave them up. When you take it down, I'm not trying to insult you, but when you take a video down, it seems weak. It seems like either you don't agree with your video anymore, so your opinion's no longer the same, or you're afraid of the backlash. Do
you think so? You think that's what people think when I do that? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the view that people get. Because you come out, you make a big, bold, like, you're not the fun police. And
right.
You pull it back. I was like, what happened? You were like, all big, and then you pulled it back, and it's like, what the hell?
Well, I get that, and I'm glad you told me that, because nobody's ever really told me that before. So I definitely appreciate you telling me that. Do you understand why I was deleting them, though? Like, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter if that's what everybody just assumes. But, my channel's a retro gaming channel, and I want to have fun and discuss retro gaming and modern gaming, too. But I want it to be about that. I don't want it to be about a bunch of nonsense. So sometimes I make a mistake, and I put out a video that's very emotional, and it draws in an audience that I don't even want. I'm not looking for that, which is it's why it's so dumb of me to make those videos. But I'm just trying to explain myself, I guess. I make mistakes. Good.
You should make a video site, but don't send them to premiere instantly. Send them to premiere like 2 days later.
That's a good idea.
Between that time, you be like, oh, you know what? I changed my mind.
That's a good idea. I've got to learn to do that, but I'm hard-headed, man. I admit it. Like, sometimes I make the same mistake a lot. I think we all do. I think sometimes it takes a while for us to realize it's a mistake. We'll say something or do something and put something out there, and it becomes evident to us after a certain period of time that, hey, I shouldn't have done this. So what do you do about it at that point? That's the decision we all have to make, right?
You go get some eye drops and you put them in your eyes. You're sorry.
Well, I'm not saying we should do that. That's maybe not the right thing to do either.
It's not the whole job. You can just find like apology videos for days.
Yeah. So I guess what you're trying to tell me, we're talking about the whole cult thing. A lot of us feel like that's really, designed to try to piss people off. When you say something like Amico fans, that's the nostalgia cult or whatever. I see this repeated by a lot of people. And I'm like, there's a lot of these like derogatory type things that are said that seem like they're just designed to try to piss people off. And I'm not going to say that that's totally on one side or the other. This is a complicated cesspool that we're all in the middle of. But I'm glad that, we're having this discussion. What I would hope is that we could be fair. And when we see people that are stirring that pot and they're trying to make things more negative, they're deliberately trying to piss other people off with, some sort of accusation that's nonsense or some sort of attack, some little thing to try to, dig at somebody, we would at least acknowledge we're not supposed to be doing that. What are we doing? We're acting like little kids here, And those kinds of things, and the people that do that with extreme venom, like what we were talking about, those people that, especially I can tell you from my personal experience, have tried to really insult me in personal ways, like talking about my ex-wife, talking about my family, wishing I would die from COVID. Those horrible people, should be called out for what they're doing. I would say, and I hope you would agree with that. So it's kind of distressing to me, and it's probably distressing for you on the other side when you see people like that, and they're visiting and making a home on certain people's comment sections, and nothing's happening. They're being like almost encouraged to talk shit about other people. Like, you don't allow bullying and harassment in your comment section, do you?
Hell no, then I get my channel nuked.
Okay, so if people see that happening on your channel and they bring it up to you, you would delete that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's not an issue there then, and people should know that if something is happening on your channel like that, those people should not be posting that crap, and their stuff should be gone. It should be taken out. I appreciate you saying that. A lot of people don't understand, like you just said, the jeopardy it puts your own channel in when people put that kind of stuff out there like that.
Well,
so,
you know what? It's funny that you say that, Si, because I'm really big on free speech and not censoring people and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And people got very upset with me because on my comment section on the website, it literally says, if you're harassing, if you're getting out of pocket, you're gone. I'm not going to put you, I'm delete it. People are giving me shit like, well, I thought you were for free speech. I'm like, I'm for free speech to a point. I'm not going to go in my comment section and start dropping N-bombs and thinking that I'm going to leave it up.
Well, this is interesting because I don't want you to think I'm going to say something. This isn't a gotcha kind of thing. It's just interesting that you said that because we were talking about when you had contacted Tommy and you were trying to see, when you posted that message, that's what it was. You posted that message where you were like, Amico's garbage or something, and you were trying to see if he was deleting negative things about the Amico. So it's interesting that you do understand how going to somebody's comment section and trying to start a bunch of crap with people, it's not a good thing for anybody, right?
But see, there's a nuance. You got everyone misses this nuance. Let me explain.
Okay.
If I was going on interviews and going, hey, Si, did you see my comments? Look at all my comments are positive. Everybody loves my website. There's no negative comments. No one hates it. Everything's positive. We'd be like, well, why is that happening? If you found out that, hey, he's actually deleting the negative comments off his website, he's trying to promote.
But you're absolutely you're absolutely right. He is trying to promote his product. It's a business website, right?
Right. But see, if he's like, hey, but look at my comments are good, right? There's one thing. But if he's trying to say, I don't get negative comments, everybody loves the product.
Well, what do you want him to say? He's selling. I mean, he's selling something, man. I mean,
that's something like you're selling something. There's a fine line between saying people love my product and no one hates the product. You see, there's a difference there. You see that, right?
But you don't literally believe that he's trying to convince everyone that nobody hates the Amico, right? I mean, you don't think that he's really trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes as though the Amico has absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's perfect.
No. But like I said, if this is one of your talking points that no one's bashing it, that you got great, like to dislike ratio, and you got to see that someone's like, well, maybe the reason you have good comments is because you deleted the bad comments.
Well, I think there's a fair way to address that sort of an issue, and then there's a way that, I mean, it's maybe what I'm trying to suggest here is maybe you handled it the wrong way. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not trying to say. Okay, go ahead.
I get it. Let's. People are saying here that there's negative comments on the newer videos. Right? Maybe. No, I'm not saying it's true or not. But maybe after I wrote the article, did this, maybe Tommy was like, you know what, he's right. I shouldn't be deleting these comments. Maybe that's why there's negative comments now on these videos, because when I said something, he realized that maybe he shouldn't have did it. This was one of those mistakes. He says, you said it before that Tommy's admitted he's done some things, he's made some mistakes.
Yeah, he has, and you've heard him say it, right?
Right. So I'm saying, but he's not going to come and be like, yeah, you know what, Tony, you're right. I fucked up. I shouldn't have did that.
Well, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube between you guys. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, the end doesn't justify the means. Like, if maybe what you did affected a change, right? That still doesn't make the way you did it right. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but I mean,
I'm just trying to tell you from my point of view, I think you could have accomplished that and probably way more without choosing to handle that the way you did. Again, man, I don't enjoy criticizing anybody. I'm just telling you my point of view on this. That's all.
I mean, like I said, I understand, I get it. Like you said, we make mistakes. Maybe I went in there a little too rough. I handled it wrong. I mean, I can't undo the things that I did.
Right. No, dude, I completely feel you. on that. We all are imperfect, and we make mistakes. Sometimes we make really big fucking mistakes. Sometimes we repeat those mistakes because, hey, I can tell you from my point of view, I can be kind of stupid. Sometimes I put my foot in my mouth, and sometimes I repeat the same thing when I shouldn't. I'm not saying that's what you did here. I'm just saying I relate to a situation that was inflamed for a long time here. I mean, really, dude, if you look at this whole thing, most of what has gone on here is a bunch of silliness, right? I mean, there's not a lot. I mean, I don't know exactly what all has gone on between you and the emails and contacting people. You got to understand that's a sensitive issue. Contacting the business people, contacting his employees, things like that. That's a sensitive issue, man. I'm just pointing it out. There's some things going on where, that has become a very sensitive topic. But we make mistakes, okay? And if we can own those, and if we can learn from the things that we've done wrong, a lot of this other stuff can be water under the bridge. It really can. If we're just willing to say, hey, you know what, man? I don't hate you. I'm not your enemy. I'm not trying to take you down. I'm not trying to ruin what you're trying to do. I don't have anything against you. I mean, you told me that when we were talking privately. You're like, I don't have anything against the Amico, right?
I don't. Here's the thing, Si, and I think it goes back to the first interview I did with Tommy, or the only interview I did with Tommy. If you watch the whole thing, like the entire thing, I know it's got crappy audio, and it's really rough at the beginning, like really. If you make it to the end, you'll see that, me and Tommy, we go from yelling at each other to everything gets mellowed out. We discuss some things. He's like, oh, that's things that no one's asked before. Then there's a point where Tommy asked if we could be friends. I told him no.
Why'd you say? What were you thinking when you said that? What was the reasoning for that?
I explained it to him. He's like, what do you mean we can't be friends? Like, if I'm going to report on this, right, I have to be objective. I can't be your friend.
Do you think that you've been objective?
Huh?
Do you think that you've been objective?
60-40.
Well, you know what? Most people wouldn't admit that. I'll give you credit for that. Okay? And that's we're being fair, right?
Like I said, I mean, I've jumped to some conclusions, and I'm sure that my bias has led me from going left instead of going right. I'm sure. But like I said, I told him straight up, I was like, hey, I can't really be your friend because then I'm going to be, there's going to be like a situation that comes up, like you're getting delayed. I'm going to try to downplay it because I'm your friend. I don't want to, be an asshole to you. Whereas I shouldn't downplay it because I should be like, hey, there's a delay. Here it is. We found out about it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I got you. They're talking in the chat a little bit about objectivity, and objectivity is really, really impossible, really, if you think about it. And I've never claimed to be objective, by the way, guys. Like, if you're wondering about me, I told you guys from day one, I'm an Intellivision fan, okay? And that's how I got introduced to all this is Intellivision. I know you got introduced through that other situation with the Roblox or what you were talking about. I'm not real familiar with Roblox. I don't know a lot about that. But no, I'm not objective. I don't pretend to be objective. But, and I think you understand this, Tony. When you take on that mantle and you call yourself a journalist, and that's where the problem was with the videos, like you were talking about. People didn't catch that there was a difference there, and I think you know what you need to do about that. But when you claim that mantle and you say I'm a journalist, then people are expecting objectivity, right? Especially when you said things like what you said, where you said I can't be friends because I need to be objective.
Right, like I said, it's very hard to be objective. It's extremely hard.
Right.
There's a lot of times where, if you, like I said, I hate to keep saying, if you go to the website, you'll see like the Avengers game just came out. I really love it. I love it. I love Avengers. I love Marvel. Fucking game to me is great, but I can see the flaws. There's a lot of bugs, shallow content, got a premium price. So when you get to the end of the article, it'll say not recommended. I do not recommend this game, and it'll list the reasons. Same thing I just said: price, shallow content. It's still fun to me, but I can't. Recommend it. That's me trying to be objective. Like if I was just like, hey, I love it, fucking go get it, everyone buy the game, that'd be a lie because I know in my heart that it's not worth it. It doesn't have the value.
Yeah, I got you. I understand.
And I've tried with the Amico, I've tried to be objective. I'll say something, like you've seen the cats with swords. I was like, hey, there's some stuff I found in.
Hey, you know what, dude? I'm gonna tell you this. I watched a bunch of your videos because I wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about when we started having this conversation. And there are videos where you totally trash the games that are coming out for Amico. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't think there's a problem with that. If you don't like a game, if a game looks like something that doesn't interest you, and you think it doesn't look good, and you're on your own channel, you have every right to call it a fucking piece of shit and garbage, and this is a horrible fucking thing. Who would buy this? It looks like crap. I don't have a problem with that at all. The problem that I have is what we've talked about, and again, I'm gonna beat this dead horse for a second, is that people think that that's you trying to be a journalist. And that's something you can absolutely do something about. And I think, I'm not gonna beat you over the head with it constantly. I just, making that point again. You should feel free, absolutely, to say whatever you think is your opinion about anything, as long as it's framed that way. That's all I'm trying to say. It'll just save you a lot of fucking headache.
Like I said, I can see that. I can definitely fix that. It's like I said, some of it is that I just jumped into this. I didn't really plan on being a YouTuber.
Right.
Tommy Tellerico is actually responsible for my whole YouTube career. I'm not excited.
No, I got you.
Because I actually wanted to do a written interview with Tommy. I'm very old school. I like written interviews because that gives the person time to think about what you're saying. You write it down. You can't say I didn't say this because it's right there. It's in writing. But Tommy was like, no, I want to do it live. I want to do it live on the channel, so you can't edit it. You can't do nothing. Everyone can see it. I was like, well, I guess okay. I guess I'll fucking start a YouTube channel.
Well, dude, I think that what you've told me has been really good because you've given me an idea how this all started, what your goals were throughout the process, how you feel about the interactions you've had, and you've given me some of your justifications for some of the actions that you've taken. I think you understand. Hopefully, I don't know. You tell me. Just having this discussion, do you get is it kind of like clicking with you that some of the things that have happened, as far as especially the like contacting people and the LinkedIn thing, maybe some of that stuff wasn't handled the right way, right? Like, do you see how a lot of that could be seen as harassment?
Here's the thing, Si. I've contacted people from Sony. I've contacted people from 3D Realms. I've contacted, I've contacted many people. It's not like Intellivision is the only place I've contacted, and no one's ever reacted that way.
But if you want to be honest, and we're just being fair here, you didn't have the interactions ahead of time with all those places, right? There wasn't a history that was built up, right?
That's true. When I was done with the interview with Tommy, like I said, I walked away. I don't hold grudges. I walked away with it like, well, that's it. We're done. I don't hate him. I assumed he didn't hate me. I thought that was it. I didn't think that there was any, holding on to anything. Right now, if Tommy, like I said, if Tommy was like, hey, you want to talk? You want to do an interview? You want to do whatever? I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. If Tommy was like, hey, you want to go fucking eat some pizza? I'd be like, cool. But I'm still the reporter on the Amico. I still can't be friends with you.
Well, I think what has happened here is a series of misunderstandings and actions that took place without understanding how that was going to be perceived. Okay, mistakes. There was a lot of mistakes. Mistakes were made, as they say, right? I'm cutting you a whole bunch of slack here, dude, because I relate to a lot of what's happened. Okay, I am not here to condemn anybody. I am not here to judge you. I'm not here to try to clown on you or roast you. I am here for this exact purpose, for us to air things out, explain and learn and grow, and maybe, I'm again naively hopeful here, maybe put to rest some of this fucking drama, and I hope you have that same goal in mind. I think you do. I think that's why we felt like we both wanted to talk to each other, right?
Yeah, can I address something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Relic Gamer says he wants to know if I called the CEO of Sony a jerk.
Did you call Nick Richards a jerk?
I don't think I called Nick Richards a jerk.
Well, what happened there? What kind of interaction did y'all even have?
I sent him that email and he didn't respond, and I think that was the end of it.
Okay. All right.
When someone gets your name, that's part of the reason why I don't like my name out there. When someone gets your name, it's really easy to make a fake email, make a fake LinkedIn.
Okay,
use your name.
but let's before you go down that road. But that's not what you're saying happened, right?
No, I'm just saying it's very easy because he complained about people being using his name on my channel. He literally comes in with the channel name that has his name on it. Okay,
well, that situation is not. Look, again, there's been a whole lot of extracurricular things that have developed from this whole situation. Okay.
But what I was getting at, I know we always go off on tangents. We're meandering here. But what I was going to say, the whole Sony CEO jerk thing. I've called the Sony CEO a lot worse things. I've called developers liars to their face. When someone's lying to me or someone said something, or if they're entering a game or something, I call people out. I made a video the other day where I called a YouTuber a gorilla. I was like, you fucking stupid gorilla. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, you probably shouldn't call people gorillas. That's probably not a good idea in this day and age. I mean,
He was Why I don't get interviews. If you look at my content on the website, I do get interviews. I get exclusives. I broke stories. I've had stories that I broke that other bigger content creators have come and used because I do know what I'm doing.
Well, okay. I'm not trying to say you're incompetent. That's never something that I said, right? Did I ever say you? Okay.
No, Retro Bro was saying probably that's why you don't get interviews.
Well, let's just say, in the context of what you just said, the things that the way you speak, the language you choose, and some of the things you've said about people, you need to. And again, dude, you already know what I'm going to tell you. It'd probably be a good idea to frame those kinds of things differently, right? If you're going to have two different types of content, where you're a journalist on one side and you're an entertainer on the other, probably a really good idea. You know what I'm going to say, to just draw some better distinctions for that, so that those kinds of things don't get misinterpreted, right?
All right.
Okay. Dude, I have asked you a lot of stuff, and I feel like I've monopolized things. So, do you want to ask me anything?
Let me think. So I know that I think Turbo Joe mentioned it that you guys talk to Tommy on a regular basis.
Yeah, we do.
So I'm just asking questions because these are things that people say. And if you don't ask the question, then no one's ever gonna know.
Right.
But like I told Smash, people saying that basically Tommy's giving you orders like, I need to make a video. Tommy hits you guys up. Hey, I need you guys to make videos. Blah blah blah. Just for the record, I don't think you're doing it. I don't think he's got some fucking the bat phone and he's hitting out the Amico signal. But I guess for all the other haters, all the trolls, they can just hear it from you that this is not the case.
Well, I'll tell you this. I do talk to Tommy pretty regularly. I still am kind of amazed that happens. I have a lot of respect for Tommy Tellerico, and I think he's a great dude because we have great conversations about everything from food to TV shows that we like to whatever. We're not just sitting here talking about the hater club or whatever, which is another ridiculous thing that we all have out there. But no, he doesn't tell anybody. As far as I know, he definitely doesn't tell me, you need to put out this kind of video. Here's your talking points and make sure you hit this and this. Like what Tommy does do is you've seen Tommy on a lot of different YouTubers broadcasts, right? You've seen him go on and talk to a lot of small YouTubers, which he doesn't have to do at all. And different people have different feelings about why he does that. I'm not gonna you can ask me about that. That's fine. But my personal thing is, I'm not judging that situation. I'm not saying these people are using Tommy or whatever. I'm not saying that. I don't think that that's the case. But that's my take, just from my personal interaction with Tommy Tellerico. I definitely consider Tommy to be a friend of mine, and that's I understand why you drew that distinction. I get that, but I definitely do because he's always talking to me about all kinds of stuff. And if he sees something that really bugs him, like I was telling you when Pat put out that video, it really got on my nerves because it was, I considered very unprofessional of them and spreading misinformation, and it really pissed me off, okay? Which is why I made my video about it. So sometimes Tommy will tell me about something, but he's not saying, hey, go out there and make a video, it needs to do this and this and this. A lot of times what has happened in the past is we will be talking about something and something will get brought up, and he may not even be talking to me specifically, I'm just like involved in the conversation. And so given new information, something will trigger my stupid ass, and I'll make videos about it. But no, he's absolutely not dictating anything or telling me to make videos or giving me some script to read. He's not paying me. Although I will say this, I've never accepted merchandise from anybody before, but a couple days ago I did ask Tommy, I did say, you know what, I do like your hat. I really would like to have a hat, maybe a t-shirt or something. So I guess I'm officially a shill now because I'm a fan of the Amico. So I'm admitting that. But I've never gotten a dime from Tommy. I've never gotten a note from Tommy about something I had to put in a video. He's talked to me about stuff. He's talked to me about things that are on his mind. And that's as far as that goes. Is there anything else?
Do you understand what the word shill means?
I understand a lot of people like to use that word for like describing people. You tell me what it means to you. What do you think it means?
I know what it literally means, like a literal definition, but when people use it on the internet, because the internet has a culture all of its own, they're talking that you're a shill. You're not talking about like you're getting paid to do this. You're just talking about like you're being unreasonably kind to something that they don't think deserves the kind of kindness.
Okay. Is that what you think it means? Like when somebody says it, When
I see people use it, that's why I think like if they think that this is a bad product and you're promoting the product, you're shilling for it because you should know that it's a bad product, but you're still promoting it. See what I'm saying?
So like, for example, if I was a Xbox guy and you were a PlayStation guy and I started talking about how much I love my Xbox, you might call me a shill. Is that what you're, okay, I see what you're saying.
You've seen the situation with Cyberpunk 2077, right?
Oh, God, yes.
You got on here, you were like, you made a video like, Cyberpunk 2077 is so great, everybody's wrong, and this is the greatest game ever. People be like, you're shilling for the game. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, there's shit wrong with it, so if you're saying there's not, there's... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. So what you're saying is you feel like that some people would view the Amico in that way, like, oh, there's no thing of value here, and this guy is out here saying all these great things about this thing that I think has no value, so he's shilling for that.
Right, that's what they're saying.
Well, I don't know what to say about that. Like, anything that anybody likes, I guess they're shilling for, right? If I post, man, I went to Sonic, or what's a McDonald's, and I got one of those McRibs, and I'm like, man, it's a good McRib. And they're like, McDonald's shill. I don't know how to respond to that.
I don't know how much time you spend on the internet with like the culture and the way things are. And I think that's a problem with a lot of the Amico fans. I see like you guys are older. I mean, I'm almost 40. I see you guys are a little bit older than me. And it seems like you're not really invested in the internet and the way things are. So it seems like you guys kind of don't get like the meme culture and the way people say things and what they mean. I think that's a lot of like misunderstanding going on.
Dude, I think you are right. I think about a lot of this, there's been a lot of misunderstanding, small things and big things. And we could save us so much. I really do believe this. We could have all saved ourselves a lot of heartache with a little bit better communication, right?
Right.
I agree with that. Is there anything else?
Oh, like when you guys get mad, like when people get mad, like you get called a shill and you get mad, people are gonna call you a shill even more.
Yeah.
It's the internet, so like you guys gotta be like, no, like whatever. Like if you let it just roll off your back, then people would have never kept up this whole shill thing.
Well, but again, there's been a misunderstanding from what you're saying, like from your point of view here, as far as like we didn't see that as an isolated kind of thing. There's a lot of things that sort of like seem to be like tied together. It's all just a big mixed up bag of crap, right? And
see, like I said, it's the way the internet works and the way like culture works. Like Retro Bro saying that he calls himself a shill. Well, people will see that and be like, oh, that's cringe. Like you can only like lean into something so far But if you lean into it too far, like, oh, take the shield, like I'm gonna own it, it doesn't work. It's no longer. I mean, it's just the way it is. Like I said, Generation Z, these kids nowadays, they're into weird stuff. They say things, and that's like one of the reasons why I don't think the console is going to do as well as Tommy thinks it is, because Tommy's oof noise was part of a really huge meme, right? You're aware of that?
I honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't really know much about it. Like, I didn't really hear much about it, so I don't know. I guess I'm not going to say. I'll take your word for it. I'll just say that.
When Roblox became kind of big, the oof sound, people just started saying it, like, oh, oof, like whenever someone died in another game, like, oof, oh, you did something bad, oof. And it became like a meme, and it was like all over the internet. Like PewDiePie, big YouTubers use the noise, it's everywhere, right? So the fact that it took him so long to figure out that his sound that was all over the internet is being used is like, obviously you're not part of the internet. You're like, he does his own thing. He's got video games live. I'm sure, adults really aren't involved in the culture. Everyone's a boomer. Like Tommy gets mad about why they call me a boomer. And that's what kids do say nowadays. You got that boomer brain. You got boomer mentality. It doesn't literally mean that you were born from the fucking boomer generation.
I got you. I understand.
Like I said, so I don't think he's in touch with what kids like and what they do. Like I mentioned to him that like my kid plays Call of Duty. He was like, oh my god, that's horrible. Your kid's not old enough for Call of Duty.
Well, okay, but I don't really. I mean, the Amico's not aimed at that demographic. Like,
right.
So as far as the Amico is concerned,
Like
go ahead.
I mentioned Minecraft. I was like, well, kids play Minecraft. He's like, no, they don't. Like, dude, like Minecraft's like one of the biggest things among kids. I mean, the Amico's competing with Minecraft. I don't think an 8-year-old is going to pick Amico over Minecraft.
Yeah, I don't. Our conjecture, our speculation about what we think about who is actually going to buy and play Amico. I mean, that's pretty much just speculation anyway. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. You're kind of saying like, hey, I don't personally think this is going to appeal to this group of people or this group of people or whatever. But that doesn't mean that the Amico's not going to have an audience and not going to be successful. I mean, it just depends on how you define success, right? Like,
I've said it before. I've said it in the past. I said I think he's going to sell 100,000 units in the first year. I've said that. I was like, there's going to be people that buy it.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to be the 1 million units first year like some people were speculating.
Well, I think that I think you would. Let me ask you this: do you think that if you had a business where you were trying to do something like what he's doing, that you would try to stay as optimistic and hopeful as possible, and try to talk about this thing that you were doing in the best light that you could? Do you think that would be a fair thing?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so again, I understand there are people that are going to disagree with him, and there are going to be people that see it from a different point of view. They're going to speculate and editorialize about what the possibilities they think are for the product that he's making. But for him saying what he's saying, this is not to me, I don't understand the criticism. I'm like, what do you want him to say? Like you want him to, you think he's being overly optimistic and so he needs to come down a notch? I mean, what are you trying to say? I don't really get it.
Well, Tommy's not the only one who's saying it. That's the thing. Like Michael Pachter said they're going to sell 1 million units. So people are like, no, Michael Pachter, they're not going to sell 1 million units.
Well, who's that? Tell everybody who you're talking about.
He's like an analyst and he writes articles. He does things. Goes in the game. I'm not really familiar with his work.
Okay. So what? I mean, he's somebody that people go to for if they want to read about speculation and stuff like that. Is that what you're kind of getting at? Or I mean,
he'll come out and say like, oh yeah, the Nintendo Switch is going to sell X amount of units, or I think this is going to go. He's a journalist, personality, whatever you want to call him. And that's where when Pat and Ian, they had mentioned that Michael Pachter had said it was going to be 1 million, and they said no, we don't think it's going to sell that many.
Okay. I don't really know about what you're talking about, and I'm really kind of lost about what you're talking about there. Is that somebody that works for Tommy, or is that?
No, it's just like a random dude like me. Like it's a dude. Okay, it'd be like Walter Cronkite. You know who that is, right?
Yeah, Walter Cronkite. Yeah.
Well, like it's the guy who does the news, and he made a big proclamation that they're going to sell 1 million units. Then people were like, they're like, no, we don't think that's going to happen.
But I guess what I'm asking is, if some guy that's not connected to the business or Tommy directly makes a statement like that, what does that have to do with Tommy? Is there something I'm missing here?
I'm not saying it has anything to do with Tommy. I'm saying that that's what people are responding. Not, Tommy takes that everything's like they're responding to him, but sometimes people are responding to someone else. Just because someone else says something about the Amigo, Tommy's like, no,
okay.
no.
Okay, I think I got what you're saying. I think I get what you're saying.
They say, I would expect, of course, it's his product. Of course, he's going to be, gung ho. We're going to do really good. But I think, a lot of times, Tommy's Tommy. You know that. And sometimes he should stop and think and say, you know what? I could roast this guy. I could throw some bants out there. I could say some things, but I shouldn't. Instead, I say, you know what? Let me prove you wrong. I hear your opinion, but I think that we're going to do, the way we're doing it is going to succeed, and I hope that you're going to come along. And that would go a lot farther because you know what? He might roast on me. He might hit Pat up and say some things, and you guys, give him a thumbs up, and that was a good thing. But when some random person just stumbles upon the comment, they don't know you don't know the context. You don't know the history. You're just going to see the guy who's the CEO. He's being aggressive towards someone else who they don't know is a troll because they're just some random dude that happened on the video.
And you saying that is interesting because we were talking earlier about Tommy admitting that he's made mistakes and that there's things he could have done differently. This is something I think he would concede if you asked him about it, if you talked to him one-on-one about it. And it's something we made this mistake ourselves. Sometimes you're right. Sometimes you shouldn't engage with people that are just looking for a way to take your reaction and use it for their own purposes, right? I'm really glad to hear you say that because I think Tommy has actually conceded that that's something that he has had room for growth on and continues to learn from. And I think if you or us, whatever, talk to Tommy and come to him from a place of reasonable expectation. If we come to him like without trying to be hostile or without trying to create some dramatic situation or twist a situation around, and if we own our own side of it, if we own our own shortcomings, then we're gonna have a hell of a lot better conversations about how all of this could be improved for everyone. The entire situation online, this weird drama. So thank you for that. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or?
I had something. Hold on.
Okay.
You got anything else, Zach? I'm trying to think. I
think I get where you're coming from. I think if I'm being completely fair and I guess a little bit critical of you, I think you would probably concede that there are things here that you've been learning as you've been going as far as being a journalist, right? And an entertainer at the same time. You're wearing two hats and learning what the processes should be for those. And I think you would admit that, the situation as far as you're concerned, there are some things you could have done better. There are some things you could have handled a different way. There are some things you probably did that inflamed things. But it's not all your fault, okay? And not everything you did was nefarious. Not everything you did was with some weird agenda. As far as I could tell, and especially because you've been willing to talk to me about it now and the conversation that we're having tonight, you seem to me to be the kind of person who wants this all to get better, who wants to clear the air and find a way for us to have conversations that are not so hostile towards each other. And I think you understand part of that is on you, right? And part of that is on everyone that's, maybe made some assumptions like you have about the other side, right?
That's unfair.
I think so. I think that's more, I think you've been very fair with me, and I think I've been fair with you. And I think if Tommy watches this video, I think we both understand that a lot of the aggravation that's happened has been the fault of everybody, and that we all can do something about it. And you've admitted, like you said, there were some things that you did or said that, hindsight's 20/20 maybe, and you're learning, and we're all trying to figure out a way to get this, to move forward from this. I think that's pretty fair, right? I think that's...
Yeah, that's fair. I remember what I want to ask you.
Oh, good.
All right. Do you think it's fair that Tommy took shots at Atari, took shots at Nintendo, and then that's okay, but when someone takes a shot at Intellivision Amico, it's like, oh my God, it's a national emergency?
This is the problem that I think that we have, is that we want to try to correlate things. We want to say, well, if he did this, then it's okay for us to do this, right? It's like somebody says, let me kind of tell you what I'm getting at here. It's like if somebody says, hey, you shouldn't break into that house, and they say, everybody's doing it. Or, what about what you did? What about what this guy did? What about what this guy did? There's situations that are, I'm not going to defend, okay? If somebody says something about another company, what they are doing, if Tommy has an opinion about another company or whatever, that's his opinion. He can answer for that himself. He can express that how he chooses to do that, and talk about it however he wants. And I'm not going to, like I said, make excuses or talk about things like that he says, but the danger is to say, well, if Tommy can do that, then we can do this. You can't think like that. You can't do that. That's not, if you think something is wrong, that doesn't mean you can do something that's wrong, right?
Well, let me clarify, because I think I wasn't very clear on what I meant.
Okay, that's okay.
Like, Tommy was throwing little jabs at Atari, like, we're going to get out before Atari, we're going to get out before Atari, we're going to ship first. Right?
Okay.
But then when people throw back at him, like, haha, you didn't ship first, he gets all mad.
Well, there might have been more context to those interactions than what you saw. That's one thing.
That's possible.
Yeah, so that's another thing that's really dangerous about the internet is people walk into the middle of something. Like, how many times, that's what happened with me and the Amico. I walked into the middle of a movie that was halfway over. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to figure out, what character is this? And what happened at the beginning of the movie? And we all do that.
See, that's the thing. It's like bro saying that Sega took shots at Nintendo.
That's a good point, yeah. That was advertising, and that was, taking jabs, but not in a hateful way. Do you think Tommy was being unprofessional or something? What are you getting at exactly? I'm trying to figure out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the culture has moved beyond that type of thing. Like, Wendy's is not taking jabs at McDonald's. Wendy's will say something, and McDonald's like, yeah, and they're joking together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Nintendo, and Sega are, they'll work together and joke together, but not take jabs at each other. Like, they don't do that no more. So, seeing Tommy do it is probably kind of weird for people.
I think you've got a certain viewpoint there. Maybe not everybody shares. And I think that what you're doing is kind of, again, almost kind of trying to justify something else by saying, I don't think what Tommy said was okay. So this is.
How you putting words in my mouth?
I'm not trying to. I don't mean to. You go ahead and talk.
I'm cool with Tommy taking shots. It's fine with me. Like, I'm not an Atari fanboy or Nintendo fanboy or whatever. Tommy taking shots, it's not me. I'm just saying there's other people who have expressed that, if Tommy's made jokes about at Atari's expense, we should be able to make jokes at Miko's expense. Like, okay, let me give you a real good example, Ty.
Okay.
People say that the Amico looks like a footbath, right?
Right.
Now, if Tommy would have made a shirt with a footbath, relax with Amico, the people that were haters, right? The haters would be like, haha, it's funny. He's in on the joke. We're all in on the joke together. We're joking together.
Yeah.
And he would have a lot less people saying that to him. But because he was like, oh, don't call it a footbath, and he got mad, I was like, oh, okay, now we're going to do it more because it made him upset. That's the mentality of the internet.
I got you. That doesn't make it okay, though. Just
okay, you have to realize, like, this is like the world. You went into shark-infested waters, and you started throwing chum, and you're like, oh shit, I'm getting bit, and you're like, why am I getting bit? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what it is.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
And then, like there's some things that he's done. Like I don't have a problem with him crowdfunding. I don't think a lot of people don't have a problem with him crowdfunding. But his strong insistence that it's not crowdfunding, when like Republic literally says this is investment.
It's not. But what's interesting, the reason that I think it bothers Tommy so much is something maybe everybody's not aware of, which is there's a big difference in the business world between there's a certain type of investment that the public thinks of when they say crowdfunding. There's another type of investment that's distinctly different as far as like how the business world operates. And I'm not an expert on this, but I can tell you there's a distinct difference based on what has to happen as far as the government and taxing and things like that. And so I think what's happening in that situation, and I get where you're coming from. You see it and you go, well, this is crowdfunding. It's not in the traditional sense of what people would think of as crowdfunding.
Let me break in real quick. Yeah. It's not traditional crowdfunding, but it's also not traditional investment.
That's true. That's a good point.
It's literally investment crowdfunding, because you don't get stocks in television. You get stocks from Fig. It's a Fig stock.
It's a different kind of investment, right? But so what? What is that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no problem except for instead of him just saying, okay, it's investment crowdfunding. Okay. because he's like, no, it's not, no, it's not, no, it's not.
Well, but but what I'm saying is the reason he's saying no, it's not, no, it's not, no, it's not, is because there's a distinct difference. Because he has to draw that difference. He has to make sure people understand because of the regulations, the way the business works, the way the government works, that it is different.
Well,
So
that's why you put the qualifier investment crowdfunding. If he was just like, yes, it's investment crowdfunding, it's literally investment crowdfunding, then
well,
it would be found.
maybe there's a better way he can handle that. You might be right about that. I don't know enough about it really to be even really having this conversation. I'm not a
Because like, okay, when you invest in like a regular company, you buying stock in a company, it's gonna fluctuate over time, up and down, stocks going up and down. Whereas the FIG stock is literally $1,000. That's it. It's locked in. It's one share for $1,000.
right.
So it's slightly different. I mean, there's more to it. I'm just really simplifying everything.
No, I get it. You're not saying that. I get what you're saying. You're trying to explain to me why people have made a big deal about it.
And also, there was a video that Tommy made like really early on. I understand things change, but really early on, he was like, "We're not going to crowdfund. We're not doing any crowdfunding. No crowdfunding." So that's part of why people are like, "Wait a minute. You said you weren't going to do crowdfunding. This is a type of crowdfunding."
Yeah, that's again. I think a situation that I don't know enough about to really give you an educated argument about, but I will say that I think having a conversation about that sort of thing, where it's not like some kind of accusatory, like, we got you, you lied. Instead of that, it's like, hey, dude, it'd probably be helpful if we could change this. Those are different ways of handling that kind of an issue, right? And unfortunately, a lot of people, like you're saying, because of the nature of the internet, instead of trying to be helpful or instead of trying to actually point something out in a way where it's constructive, they just pile on and try to be an asshole about it. And, and unfortunately, I think that's what's happened there. That's fed into, the frustration that I know Tommy has faced with people talking about that thing.
Well, it's cyclical, Si. It's cyclical. Tommy will say no, then they'll say it more, then he'll say no more, then they'll say no. It just goes round and round and round and round.
Well, what's really bad is there's people that are going on the websites where this is happening, trying to destroy the campaign, trying to leave a bunch of comments that are designed to call into question, the motivations for what's happening, the return of what's possible, like all kinds of stuff. I've read some of it and I was like, what is happening here? Like, why are these people literally trying to screw this up, like mess with the other people's investment? They say, because you hear a lot of people say, I wouldn't care about this except for other people's money that's invested. And then people will go on that site and try to screw up that investment for people. I don't get that. Like,
I don't get that either. Like, anybody doing that is a fucking jackass.
Yeah, man, that's fucked up. Like, that's basically internet terrorism as far as I'm concerned.
I'm pretty sure that is actionable in some way. And
yeah.
if he had, if Tommy brought a lawsuit against those people, I would be like, yep, that's what you should have did.
I don't know enough about it. I don't want to comment about it any more than what I've already said, really. But I'm glad you brought it up. It's a good topic for Tommy to hear if he does listen to this, because it's something that I hope it can be worked out. I hope things can be figured out to mitigate some of this insanity that people are doing. And I get what you're saying. He said certain things in a way that people took a certain way, and it's that's where we're at. I get what you're saying.
Right. And like he said before in the past that he would never take any money, no pre-order money, until you were able to try the product. And then like 3 months later, he did pre-orders. That was kind of weird.
That must have been before I got involved in all this. Like, when did he say that?
I think there's a video. There's a video where there's a comment on Atari Age. I'm not 100%. He was like, no, I'm not going to do pre-orders. I'm not going to take any money until you can get the product in your hand and try it. Because once you try it, you're going to love it. You're going to want to buy it. You don't need pre-orders.
So obviously that changed, obviously.
Right. And I think part of the problem is maybe Tommy, he doesn't want to just, like, I don't know, I want to say apologize or admit a mistake, but come out and say, hey guys, something's changed. Because maybe he thinks it's a sign of weakness. I don't know. But you'll just come out and be like, hey, something's changed. We've decided to take pre-orders. And that would stop all the people who were going to be like, gotcha, you said no pre-orders. He just kind of just ignores that and just like, we're doing pre-orders now.
Well, what you're talking about was obviously a long time ago, and I really can't talk about it because I don't know anything about it. But that would be good to, maybe you're right. Maybe there's something he could say about it that would be like, yeah, that's one of those things I could have done better or talked about in a better way or whatever. But if you really think about it, if we're really being fair about it, whether or not he's going to have pre-orders or not, what is that? It's not really an issue. It's just that when he started the project, I guess he had a certain way of thinking about it and announced that, and then things change and now he's doing a different thing. But everything has pre-orders. I don't know that that's even an issue, right?
Like I said, I don't think it's an issue to anybody except for he had said that he wasn't going to do it. And he's never come out like, yeah, sorry, we decided to do it. The culture nowadays is really, really, it's gotcha culture. It's holding you accountable for everything you've ever said. I don't agree with it. I'm just telling you this is the way it is.
No, I got you.
Don't pick up some 10-year-old post and be like, remember that time when you used the R word or whatever, and be like, oh, I was like 10 when I did it. I don't know.
Oh my God, are you saying that this is cancel culture against the Amico? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying that's the reality of the internet. Like, people will latch on to little things. You said this thing, and now we're going to hold you to it forever. So you kind of got to go on and like, you know what? I changed my mind. We're doing it this way. It's like the same thing with the mobile games. No one really has a problem with them putting mobile games on there. In fact, there's a lot of mobile games. If Tommy wants to hit me up, I can give him a list of games that got canceled that were really good, and I'd love to see. I'd buy the Amigo for these games. That's how good they fucking work.
Well, there's a lot of games in development that we don't even know about. There's a lot that he's talked about, but there's a lot that he hasn't.
Right, so what I'm saying, he was very insistent that there was going to be no mobile games.
Well, okay, go ahead.
That's not an issue that there's mobile games, right? But you said there weren't, and then there was mobile games, and then when people said, hey, these are mobile games, it was kind of like, hemming and hawing about it, and then he was like, well, this is why. But if you would have started with the this is why, no one would have went back and be like, hey, you lied, or hey, you said there was no mobile games. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I there's been a lot of like we just were talking about, a lot of communication that could have been handled differently. I'm not going to say that that's not true, but there's like this whole thing about that, like this whole group of people who just insist that everything on Amico is a bunch of mobile, like phone games, right? And they're designing a whole bunch of games from scratch. There's a whole bunch of games that are like the retro reimagined games and stuff like that are not based in any way on mobile games. I think
that's another one of those misunderstandings, because when people use the word mobile, they're not literally being like, this is a game that was on a mobile device that's now on. What they're saying is this is a small, quick pick up and play 15-minute experience that you're going to put down and never play again. That's what they mean when they say mobile.
Well, if that's what they mean, they're using the wrong term, because there are plenty of games that are on everything that are like that. Like some of the most popular games that are even on like PC or PS5 or whatever. Like what's that one game where everybody, it's like hide and seek, but the one guy's hiding and he's really there's one guy that's
Sure you want to go there?
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like
Must be your balls, but the game you're talking about is Among Us.
Yeah,
It literally was a mobile game.
Right, but it's okay, right? That it's on all these other platforms.
Right, but that's why I said it's not that they're mobile games. It's not even that you're putting mobile games on the Amico. He came out and was like, we're not putting mobile games on the Amico prior to putting mobile games. It was like
I get what you're saying, but I don't agree that that's a fair way to describe any of, like, because dude, okay, Among Us, whatever. But what about like all these games that, like I said, are being designed from the ground up that have never been on anything else, right? I mean, mobile games, that's a weird way to describe these games that have never been mobile. You know, just
that goes back to my earlier point. Like when people first started saying mobile, Tommy had a really strong reaction to it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, right now, are you telling me, like, I just want to get your thoughts. Are you telling me you think like the new Astro Smash is a mobile game?
No, see, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm trying to listen. I'm sorry, I'm trying to listen.
When Tommy has a strong reaction to things, when anybody has a strong reaction, there's a thing called the Streisand effect. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you have a strong reaction like that, people are gonna like latch onto it and just say it more, just because. Even people that don't know what's going on, they're gonna see Tommy like, oh, he's getting aggravated because they said mobile. I'm gonna say mobile.
Well, I get what you're saying. I understand the effect. I understand culture and the way it works as far as like people. I get that, but it's just because a bunch of people do something and think something, that doesn't mean that that's true, right?
Right. I'm not saying it's true, and I'm not saying it's correct or that it's a thing that people should say. But what I'm saying is, people are doing it on purpose, like you said, to jab them, to give them a little poke the bear, as it were.
I think we both could agree, and again, not to put words in Tommy's mouth, but I think Tommy would agree that things haven't always been handled the best way, right? And I can relate to that, like I said, because sometimes shit, man, I say stupid things, and I say things the wrong way, and I make things worse. Sometimes I do, and I think this is just a situation where that kind of thing does happen and has happened. So if we're getting at the root cause of a lot of the drama, I'm sure that's definitely part of it.
Like I have nothing against him. I have plenty of things like helpful advice that I could give or helpful, suggestions. But I mean, I know he doesn't like me personally. Probably doesn't want to hear it from me. So
well, y'all have had a storied past, right?
I blame him for. I'm just saying that's the way it is. So it's like, I could come out. Hey, here's like some suggestions. Like I think on Mad Max, I was like, if he had a payment plan, like Xbox had a payment plan, $25 a month until he paid it off. I think it would be a lot more affordable for like lower income families that might want to be interested in it, but they're not going to drop the $250 all at once.
Well, I don't know what all he's got planned. It's interesting you say that. I think it'll be really interesting to see what kind of things he comes up with as far as that sort of stuff is concerned. He's asked a couple of questions in the past about what do you guys think about this deal? What do you guys think maybe if we tried something like this? So I know he's thinking about some very outside the box stuff, not just related to what, like financing or how to get one of these systems or that sort of thing, but about the system itself. There's a lot of outside the box thinking. So I mean, take that as you will. I know I'm a fan and you probably roll your eyes about some of the stuff I say, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised to hear some interesting things regarding that sort of thing. So that's good. That's good. What I really hope is at some point that you could make some, like when you think you have a suggestion or if you have an opinion about something, I would love if at some point you could get to where y'all could have a conversation,
Well, I'll give you a suggestion right here.
Okay.
This is a video game virus exclusive TonyTGD suggestion.
Okay.
Tommy has a website, Intellivision Amico website for the console.
Yeah.
Add a little drop-down menu titled Dev Blog, and then curate all, not everybody can go and follow Tommy from interview to interview where you drop in nuggets here and there. And those are all interesting things. But sometimes no one's going to sit through an OEVP and then watch a retro bro and then hit the Cyrus video. So they're going to miss all this stuff. And that's one of the points that Pat tried to make. I think people missed it. It's like normal people just looking up Intellivision Amico, they're going to hit the website first, and they're not going to see this information there. And that should be the primary place for all this information. Like if he wants to give you some kind of exclusive, that's cool, right? But then like 2 days later, it should be up on the website. Hey, on Video Game Virus, I said this and this and this and this. On OEBP, we discussed this and this and this. So then people will be able to find this information real easily, all in one place.
Yeah.
Where there's no misunderstanding. There's no, he said over on this one, and on this channel he said that, and then there's a 20% chance here. I didn't care about no 20% chance because I'm not watching OEBP.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all. Like, the Amico is in development. There's a lot of things going on. He's told us, I mean, you have to admit, nobody that's ever made a console has ever said so much about it. Like he's been very open about a ton of this, right? A lot more than I can ever remember anybody ever being open about. But they're still in the process of trying to get this thing made. And he is hiring people, obviously, because we had talked about all the issue with LinkedIn and everything. So it'd be interesting to see if some of those types of things end up springing up in the near or, in the future anyway. So
here's another suggestion. I see people saying Wikipedia and all that. We're going from the stance of a normal person, like someone that just like, I heard about Amico, I'm going to Google it. Right? The first things that are going to pop up are the website and the YouTube channel. Now, it would be very, very easy for him to say, hey, Cyrus, remember that interview we did? I'm going to clip this 2-minute section and throw it up on the official Amico channel.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I lost you. Sorry.
Did you hear any of that?
You said throw it up on the official Amico channel and then it went blank.
Like I said, just, he clips a portion of the interview he does with you or puts it on the official channel because, and this is no disrespect to any of you guys, but the official Amico channel gets a lot more views on their videos than you guys do.
Yeah.
So the difference would be like, I think he had like 100,000 views on the Earthworm Jim video. But you're not getting 100,000 views on Cyrus talking about the Earthworm Jim. So if he drops a nugget there, it's like 99,000 people that are missing it that should be hearing this message.
Well, I think that, not too long ago, they did hire a video guy and a guy who can edit video and stuff, who's, I don't know what all he's got going on and what time he has in mind for him, but maybe that's something that should be suggested. Maybe you're right about that. Maybe that's a missed opportunity, right? So,
right.
Again, I don't disagree with you.
I mean, I really, it's just little things like that, like information on the website, updating the website. Maybe there's some early renders. I don't know if they're there. I haven't been to the website in a while, but there was at one point some early renders for the Amico. The design has changed, so it's kind of like you should put the new design up as soon as you get the new design. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. I understand.
I mean, some people are probably always being nitpicky, but you have to look at it from the perspective of someone who isn't following the Amico, who's just getting on the website. So could you imagine if you went to the website site and you're like, oh, this purple one is awesome, I'm going to pre-order the purple one, and then you get a different color purple because they changed the paint?
Yeah. No, but I do think it's also fair to note that this thing is still being created, right? And, you know, it might not be feasible to do a lot of updates right at this moment with everything. We don't know what all they're doing, what all the people are being tasked with, you know? I mean...
No, we don't. And I'm just, like I said, it's just a suggestion. I'm not saying, hey, you know, he's not up within an hour, then he's, you know, I'm just saying that, like, at some point, you should probably, hey, you know what? I don't know if he's got a webmaster, if he's doing it, if just someone in-house who's in charge of the website, but say, hey, shoot him an email. Hey, you know what? Maybe you should put the new render up on there. Or, hey, we changed the color. Here's the new paint render.
I understand. I got where you're coming from there. I do. I get where you're coming from. So... I mean, those are not unreasonable suggestions, right? You're just suggesting things that you think would be positive. I think that's... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I think, I mean, people still probably think I'm a hater or I hate Amico or whatever. So when I make a suggestion like that, it's probably like, oh, this guy's trying to get him or it's a nitpicker. Like, I'm trying not to be a jerk. I'm trying to just be like, this is what a normal person would assume. This is what a normal person would see on a website and why they would, you know, it should be a different way or an easier way for them to get this information.
Yeah, I understand. You have a certain idea about things and you have certain expectations and you're just voicing that. I don't even see a problem with that. Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing to me.
Another thing that I would suggest is, I mean, if he can't clip it or he can't get the videos up or, you know, if that's not the route he wants to go, he has an Intellivision Amico email list. He has, you know, everyone who signed up to the mailing list. So if he's like, hey, you changed something, or hey, here's a new render, or hey, here's a new interview I did on Cyrus, you should probably just email everybody on the list, like, hey, we just did a new interview on Cyrus, and at 13 minutes in, I talk about X, and at 16 minutes in, I talk about Y. Well, I think that would get...
I appreciate that you've got some good ideas for suggestions here, but yeah, I don't know that. I mean, that's good, but I don't know that. I don't know that that's like a criticism of anything or a problem. You know, like because he does, I think, a lot to try to communicate with people. Now, are there other ways he can do that? Yeah, but you know, what you're talking about is to me not really. Like I don't know what we're talking about. Is what I'm trying to say. Like I appreciate you having ideas and suggestions. I think that's good. This doesn't seem like it's something that's an issue.
I didn't say it was an issue. I said it was a suggestion. I said these are just things that I would suggest if I was talking to Tommy. I see that bro says that it would be going to piss off your customers and they view it as spam. Obviously, you're not going to send them an email every time Tommy does an interview. That'd be like flooding their inbox. I mean, like a monthly update email, like, hey, here's what we've done.
We do get emails though occasionally, right? Are you? Yeah, I mean, it's not like he doesn't send any emails out. I think what you're just saying is maybe you'd like more emails, right?
Right. And like I said, not everybody's following all you guys. And that's weird because like I've heard him say that like you're obsessive. You're watching all my interviews. It's like, do you want me to watch your interviews? Or do you not want me to watch your interviews? Do you want me to have information? Do you not want me to have information? You know.
Okay.
It's like if I say something that's wrong, you're like, well, I said it over here, and it's like, well, you just don't have to watch interviews.
Yeah. Well, again, I think when because of y'all's history and everything that's gone on, when you say something, there is probably a different reaction, a different emotional response than if Joe Blow off the street who's never talked to Tommy says something, right? And I think we've kind of gone through that. There's a reason why maybe you're getting a different kind of response than somebody else would. But again, hopefully that can improve, right? So.
And this is a suggestion not for Tommy, but like maybe for Pete. I don't know if Pete's gonna watch this. I know there's a lot of people who are critical, or you want to call them haters, or whatever. But maybe having one or two of them on the All Amico podcast, to have an even balance of like, if you're really big on the game and he's really low on the game, you guys could have some discussion of why you like the game and why you don't. Right now, like the ones I watch, it's like I like it too. Well, yeah, I like it. We all like it. There's like no discussion. It's just all the like. I understand you guys don't like it, but it's like it's kind of boring for like the viewer.
I don't disagree with that at all. We really need more of an objective viewpoint once in a while. Absolutely. The problem that we have in this little community is it's polarized. Okay, when you say haters, okay, the people that I would classify as a hater have done horrible things, have gone on my channel, have gone on other people's channel and said personal horrible things, like attacks to where like they should be banned. And you've even conceded the stuff that we talked about. Those kind of people are not going to be on a podcast with the guys that like the Amico. They're not going to go, well, we need another viewpoint. Let's get this piece of shit that said all this stuff about my wife and have him on. That's not going to happen.
I meant more like maybe like Kenny from Dorkalicious. He has a different viewpoint from some of those guys.
I don't even know who that is. Kenny from Dorkalicious. Who is this? Who's that guy?
He made like 2 or 3 videos on Amico. He made a video when they announced Jay Aller. He was like, well, I'm not really excited. I don't really think that it's going to be a game changer. And then everybody attacked him.
Well, there might be other things going on. Like I said, I'm not going to be aware of everything. You're probably not going to be aware of everything.
I'm just that.
Yeah, there's probably this whole thing is such a mess, man. There are people that you look at and you go, well, I don't know why you couldn't have that guy on, and there might be some legitimate reasons why that's not going to happen. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to get too caught up in like trying to figure out other people's business. What they've said and haven't said.
Well, maybe you guys could just flip a coin and whoever gets tended like I like it. I don't know.
Just do good cop, bad cop. That's what I did.
I tried to watch some of them. It's like you want to watch it. And it's like everybody's just repeating the same thing. And it's like, okay,
yeah.
I'll wait for the 6 other guys to say it and get to the next topic.
Well, that's a criticism.
And they all like it and they're all big on it. And that's fine. But when it's one person, like when I'm watching the Cyrus video, it's you through the whole video, right? But when I gotta hear 6 different voices saying the same thing, it's like, oh.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you this, dude. I think this is a criticism you should take to them because I have nothing to do with that channel, and it's none of my business what they do. I hear what you're saying, but it's none of my business. So
I figured since we're talking about it, we just talk about it.
Okay, we brought it up. We went there, but that's I would take it to them. I would talk to them about it. Do you have something else for me?
mean, not really. I mean, what is it that got you excited about the Amico? What is it that you see?
Well,
that you see?
I have been. I think I've been pretty clear about it, but it's okay if you ask me that. I'm an Intellivision nut, dude. Like, I love Intellivision. That was my first console. I still love it. I play it all the time. And the opportunity to play new, like, enhanced, really cool looking versions of classic Intellivision games, and then, you know, some new games and stuff too, with those controllers and everything, sounds really cool to me. Like, and playing the demos, the Breakout demo and the Moon Patrol demo, really made me think, I want to do this. This is fun. I want to have fun with this. So my interest in the Amico is that. Now, my interest in Tommy Tallarico is related to the Amico, but Tommy's a cool guy if you can get to know him and talk to him. And he's been really cool with us. And I just like hanging out with the guy. Now, I also like talking to him about this cool thing that I'm interested in, but it's kind of just a combination effect, I guess. I get two really cool things there. So that's what my interest is at. You know, I'm not...
You get two great things that taste great together?
It's like peanut butter and chocolate, right? Yeah, that's where I'm at, dude. That's my agenda, to celebrate something that I think is really cool and to talk to a guy who has really gone out of his way to be cool to me. So that's it.
Have you seen any games that are not on the Amico, like maybe on Steam, PlayStation or something, that have that same kind of feeling that you're like, you know what, this is a classic type of game that I would like to play, that I'd like to enjoy? I always hear you guys talk about like retro stuff, but none of the new retro stuff, or whatever you want to call it.
That's like no, there's games all the time that I see on my PlayStation. Like there's this racing game, I can't remember the name of it, but it's sort of like a new version of Outrun, and it's really cool. I need to talk about more of that kind of stuff. You're absolutely right, dude. Like, I absolutely need to talk about more of that kind of stuff. Because there's games like that all the time that I see that I should talk about more. The problem is, like, when I get on my PlayStation, it's in the living room, and I just want to play my PlayStation. You know, I don't do a whole lot of streaming from the PlayStation. I've only had a PS5 for, you know, since it came out. And when I have streamed from it, it's been like, well, I guess I'll show people the new PS5 stuff, so I got to show them Call of Duty or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so I haven't even thought about that. I appreciate you suggesting that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Like, I have so many games. I have like over 200 games on my PlayStation 4.
Oh yeah.
I play, but it's...
You need to do videos about them too, man. Like, you know, that's a good idea for anybody to do. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
I want to address something that Retro Bro said in the chat. Let me scroll up. He said,
Pat doesn't even lift, bro. Like, I don't know.
he said, what would it take for Tony to get interested in the Amico?
That's a good question.
It's a very good question. Let me say, I am interested in the Amico. I'm not interested in paying $250 for the Amico. That's the thing. Like, I played the Breakout demo. I put it on. There's a video of it on the channel, and it's fun. It is genuinely fun. I had a little nitpicks with it. I didn't really like the way you put English on the ball, and I didn't like the way the score wasn't like on the screen consistently. And when you finish the level, it blacks up still. You know, that was kind of like weird. At one point, there was so many power ups that I got that I didn't even have to move the paddle. I was just playing itself at one point.
Did you see the little tournament that Retro Bro and I did where we competed with each other?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh well, yeah, it's okay, but it's fun as hell, man. I love that game.
It is fun, but like I said, there's and part of it is like we only get one level. I understand it's a demo. We only get one level. Tommy hasn't really talked about the rest of the game, so it's like, is it just basically the same level like over and over and over again? Is there going to be something unique, different, maybe different power ups as you go through the levels? Because if it's just those I think 5 or 6 power ups, and the levels are just different block placements, at some point it's like, are people going to still be playing it after level 15, or is it going to be like, all right, I'll play it for 5 levels and then turn the game off because
yeah,
I had to build a breakout?
Yeah, I'd like to see more info about it too. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you at all on that. I'd love to see more info about it. So Breakout, what else? What else is interesting?
Hold on, I see some comments here. Breakout's interesting. I think Astro Smash looks alright. I've never really played the original version, but I played the Atari one that's on the AARP website. It's pretty fun.
Astro Blast is the Atari one.
Yeah.
Okay. Astro Smash is way better, dude, because it's Intellivision. Sorry, it's way better. Everyone agrees.
It says, what would be a reasonable price for the Amico, in my opinion? Dude, that's hard. It's hard to say what would be a reasonable price because we don't have all the information. I don't know what the 6-pack in game is. I don't know what the full experience on these other games are. You know, it's hard to give a value proposition on something when you only have limited information.
Yeah. It's a lot of games, though. The ones that we even know about, you know.
It is a lot of games, but like I said, if they're all 15, 20-minute experiences, like, I can get 99-cent games that are 15, 20-minute experiences on a console I already own, or on a phone I already own. I think that's the biggest barrier, is that it's price. That's why I said, like, if he had like a payment plan, I could pay $25 a month, then cancel it if I like, no, I don't want it no more, or had my fill. Well, not refundable, obviously, I don't get my money back, but we get something and I'd get to try it out like a rental almost.
You know, I got a question for you. Some people said, maybe, I don't know what your situation is, I'm not trying to pry into your personal life or anything, but maybe people that have like kids, like a lot of kids, they might see this, they might see the Amico in a different way. They might see it as having more relevance to their family entertainment. Do you think that's a possibility? Like maybe the way you see it versus the way somebody else is seeing it based on what their home situation is, maybe that's factoring in as well?
That could be a big factor. Like, I'm not the average consumer by any means, just because I play video games all the time. I'm always getting demos, I'm always getting review copies. I have way more games than I can play, and my kid has always played games with me. I know some people are like, oh, those games are too violent for kids, but I mean, I supervise my kid. I know what's going on. It's we were playing Mario when my kid was little, 2 and 3. They didn't need a Sesame Street game. That's just me, and my situation is different. And I understand there's probably some people that's why I said the console's probably going to sell like 100,000 units in the first year, because there are people that they've never played a video game console, never, they see that there is content that they're not comfortable with, that they would want to buy this. I understand that there is a market for it. I'm not saying there isn't. My contention has always been that I don't think the market is as big as Tommy thinks it is, or as he sees it, or as he imagines it. That's always been my stance on this whole thing.
I don't think. I mean, I see what you're saying, and you're perfectly entitled to that opinion. You know, and I think Tommy is hopeful and optimistic. If nothing else, if you ever talk to Tommy, you know he's a very optimistic guy, and I think he's absolutely within his rights as somebody who's making a product and who wants to sell that product to be optimistic about it. Now, you might disagree, I might disagree, somebody else, whatever. People might disagree with what he's hoping for, but I mean, I don't see anything wrong with him, making that kind of statement to say, I hope it sells this, or I think it's going to sell this, or whatever. I don't see anything.
that's the thing, Si. Like, there's nothing wrong with Tommy saying, I hope it sells 3 billion units in the first year. There's nothing wrong with him saying that there's this huge market. The problem comes in where I say something like, I don't see this market, and then people attack me for it. Or someone says, I have a different opinion of the market for Intellivision or who might buy it or how many units they'll sell. It seems to offend people. Like, people get mad. Like, what do you mean there's not going to have, they're not going to buy it? Tommy's got data. Tommy said this. It's like, dude, I can have an opinion that's different from Tommy's. I can have an opinion based on the facts that I have. I don't have his data, so I have to go from my own facts, from my own personal experience. That's my opinion. I'm not saying like it's definitely only selling 100,000 and fuck you if you think it's not. I'm just saying, hey, I think it's going to sell 100,000 based on the information I have in my personal experiences.
Right.
And I don't think that should be some kind of controversial statement. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't either. But whatever's happened in the past, I don't. There's probably some context that maybe you may not have even been aware of, like we were talking before, where you say something. I know this has happened to me, where I've said something and not realize what I stepped into the middle of, and been like, oh shit, this got out of control. So I'm not blaming you. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the specific situation that you're talking about, but that's something I think, again, if we're willing to, we can work through, and we can get to a point where we go, okay, you know what, let's move on. Things have been. You know what I'm saying?
I get you. Swami Hills. He's saying, why is it people disagreeing with you controversial? It's not controversial. You can have a different opinion than me. I've always said that. But like Cyrus has said, people are attacking you. They're literally like, no, you're an idiot. You're wrong. He's like, dude, chill out. I might be wrong. But you don't need to fucking insult me. I mean,
well,
I was talking to him earlier, and I said that when I reviewed Captain Marvel, I said that it wasn't that good of a movie, right? 6 out of 10. I had people literally threaten to call my job to get me fired because I was a misogynist who didn't like Captain Marvel the movie. That's the kind of things I've dealt with in the past.
Yeah.
So it's like, calm down. Certain people are gonna have a different opinion than you, and it's okay. And you can say, hey, here's why I disagree with you, and then you give your opinion. And you have a discussion. People don't seem to want to have a discussion. They just want to be right. They want their opinion to be the one that's right. And there's no discussion regarding the Amico.
Well, again, I think that, I agree with you. I do. I don't think that we need to insult each other. I don't think we need to attack each other. I don't think we need to assume that a disagreement about something, an opinion, is somehow an attack. But like I said, I know that that's probably something that we've all, what I'm trying to say is, like, there's probably times when I or you or a lot of us have made that kind of thing worse by kind of stepping into something and not realizing the full context going on at that moment, and then, or misinterpreting something as an attack or an assault. Like we were talking about earlier with Tommy, you were saying, why does he react the way he does when people just say these things, right? And if someone says something to you, what you're telling me now is there's been times where people have said things to you, you felt attacked, right? I think.
Yeah.
Well, you see what I'm saying though? Like this, okay, shit has happened. Shit has happened. We've got to figure out a way through that. We've got to figure out a way to stop perpetuating it. And if I'm taking, a part in that, I'm trying to stop taking a part in that. I'm trying to get us back to a point where we're not enemies. We're not hostile towards each other. We're not thinking that everybody else is. And maybe that's naive. It probably is, but that's my goal.
It's an admirable goal, and I agree. We should not be hostile towards each other. We should have more discussions. Like I said, I came out here because I'm willing to have a discussion, whether we agree or disagree, whether or not I feel it's going to sell a certain amount, and you feel it's going to sell more or less, or do gangbusters. And I'm like, no, I don't know. My excitement level's not as high as yours. We shouldn't be attacking each other. People shouldn't be attacking us for having these opinions, whether it's a positive opinion or a negative opinion. And people definitely shouldn't be attacking you if you're like, hey, here's a thing that I stumbled upon, or here's Tommy said that there's a 20% chance, and this is my jumping off point. Now here's my commentary on this situation. But it seems like a lot of people have said in the chat, it's a very polarizing issue. People have dug their heels in. No one wants to give an inch. No one's willing to concede any ground to each other, and it's getting more and more insane.
It doesn't have to, man. I really feel like it doesn't have to. That we can, maybe having this conversation tonight can help start to change that. Again, here I am, stupid, hopeless idealist. But that's what I want, man. That's what I really want.
I mean, it could change. And like I said, I know I've done my part. I've trolled. I've done little jabs, little digs here and there. And I get it. But like, my suggestion for you, Si, since you suggested things for me, I'm going to suggest some things for you.
Okay.
Like, if you have an issue with a pet video, by all means, make a video on it. But if your video is like 3 times, 4 times as long as the pet video, it seems a bit excessive.
You're right. You're right.
I don't know if you script. I don't script my videos. I edit my videos. I don't.
The only thing I script is the Alex McCracken stuff. That's the only. I don't know if you've seen any of that. That's the only thing I script.
So you might have the same issue that I have, like where you start meandering or you're hemming and hawing. I mean, for me, I know I'm not the best YouTuber or whatever, but I'll run through it in my mind before I hit record. Like, here's what I'm gonna say. Try to get like a little pre-show going.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that might help you to not make an hour and a half, 2-hour video and past 20 minutes of. And realistically, it's not even 20 minutes because there's a little introduction, the laugh, the silence. So it's like 15 minutes of actual content that you've somehow made into a 2-hour video.
I know, man. I admit it. I get fucking triggered. I can't. I guilty as charged. I've got to work on that. You're right.
I mean, there's a way you could do those videos, but I mean, it's like at least go all out, like fucking start throwing F-bombs and really digging into them because at least then it's entertaining for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
When you're like half going, or it's like, come on, Cyrus.
You're right, and I'm going to take your advice to heart. That is something. If I need to make a Patnian video or whatever, and hopefully, God, that stops happening. Hopefully, you would admit. Let me ask you this: do you think they're unreasonable?
Unreasonable in what they say, or the amount of videos, or like in what way?
Well, that's a good point, actually. Like, there's a lot of things you could say that about. I guess like they've made a crap ton of video segments about the Amico. And all of them, as far as I can tell, as far as back as I've seen anyway, have been really nasty, And the tone, you know what I'm talking about? It's not just what's said, it's the way it's said. There's just this disdain, Like, did you pick up on that? Because I do.
If you go back to the first video, like if you watch them all in order, from video 1 to now, you can see the tone shifting over time as the whole controversy, the whole feud with Tommy has escalated. So
Yeah.
It starts off slow, and then it just slowly but surely keeps going. And yeah, right now, they're probably past the Rubicon, and they're not going to turn their lives around and be like, hey, you know what, this is a great thing, or whatever, or tone it down. Because they've already gone so far. And no one on the internet ever backs up and says, hey, you know what, I fucked up, I went too far. I mean, they have gone probably a bit farther than they should have.
I got to tell you something, Tony. This conversation has not gone how I thought it was going to go. You have been extremely rational, and Don't take that the wrong way. I'm not insulting you. I'm just saying when this type of thing happens, a lot of times people get very argumentative, right? You have been very even-keeled, and you've said a lot of things that make a lot of sense. And I really do feel like there's just been this huge gap of misunderstanding that's taken place here. And there's a lot of people that have, that have made things even worse, that have contributed to that.
Yeah. Well, I don't want this comment to scroll too far. Swami's saying that Pat and Ian have a bad reputation for giving wrong info. He just called them out on that. See, that's the thing. Like, Pat and Ian are a big channel, whether you like it or not. He's Tommy Tellerico. So if he makes a comment on your video correcting your misinformation, or he hits you up on Twitter and says, hey, you guys are wrong, and here's why you're wrong, that's perceived a certain way by the internet. Like, man, Tommy just called him out on the internet. So Pat and Ian are like now on defensive, like, oh shit, we're getting called out publicly. Whereas if Tommy would just hit them up on email or DM them and say, hey, you guys said some things, here's the correct information.
Dude.
Thanks for coverage.
But dude, did you see my video where I was talking about this thing? Because Tommy made it. Okay.
I've seen the Tommy thing. Like I said, but that initial comment, like if I were to go on your Twitter right now and be like, Cyrus, you were wrong about this video, and tweeted it, and I had a big enough audience and they seen that, that would seem to be aggressive to people. Like if Pat and Ian were to like make a video on you, people would see that like they got a large audience, so they're bullying Cyrus. I'm sure they want to respond to you and like bro and other people, but they know how it's perceived, so they don't do it.
Pat has said some really ugly things to me, but I'm not a victim. I made that worse. I own that. We've interacted. That's all I'm saying.
And here's bro saying that he did email Pat, and I'm sure he emailed Pat. I'm sure he did. But Tommy didn't stop there. Like people tell me like you've gone too far. It's like you emailed them, they didn't respond. Let it go. Don't call them out publicly because now you've escalated the feud. And I know it's frustrating from Tommy's perspective because they're a big channel and they're saying these things that he perceives are wrong or misinformation or whatever. But an easy way to fix that is for Tommy just to make a video himself and say, hey guys, I seen a couple people talking about the Amico and they gave some wrong information or they were misinformed or they might have been confused and here's the correct information. And he makes his own video and people will go to that video.
I get what you're saying. I'm going to say though that particular problem is, and I get what you're saying, but I think that if you really go back and look at what Tommy's tried to do there, yeah, things are beyond repair at this point probably between them. But there definitely was a time, and it's at least that September 2019 when he made that unlisted video for them, where he was doing exactly what you're saying. Where he made a video that was unlisted and sent it to them and told them exactly basically what you just said. Like, hey, we had a misunderstanding. I think y'all may have said some things that I don't agree with. He even apologized to them, and
he then told people about the video. Like if you're making a video for Pat Ian and to apologize and to clear the air about these misunderstandings, you make the video, you unlist it, you send it to them, and no one else should ever know about the video. Now, again, I know it's frustrating for Tommy that they didn't take the video and go off and make a positive Amico video or correct their misinformation, but sometimes you just got to let it go.
Okay, and again, you're right. Things, what I was saying is at that moment, I think he was trying to do what you said. Now, does that mean after that, mistakes weren't made? I'm not saying Tommy's perfect. I'm not saying he handled that whole situation perfectly. I'm just saying I think he did try to handle it the right way, and then things changed. And, like I said, I think there's a lot of dirty hands. I'm not...
And bro's saying that Pat Ian get a pass. They don't get a pass. Like
no, they don't. And that's what... Go ahead.
Here's the thing, like, if Tommy didn't escalate, whether he felt he's right or not, whether he was justified or not, but if Tommy didn't escalate, then Pat and Ian probably would have de-escalated themselves, and then maybe 2 or 3 videos later they would have had a turnaround and be like, what, this is interesting. Here's we were wrong about this other thing. But because everyone, like I said, everyone digs their heels in. Once you made this public declaration that they were wrong, now they're like, well, fuck you. I'm gonna prove how I was not wrong, and it goes back and forth and it just keeps going and going.
That's again, we can't put that toothpaste back in the tube, right? That's just history at this point. But
right. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. I'm just saying that I understand where Tommy's coming from. I understand why he did what he did, but at the same time, from another perspective, from someone from the outside, it's like, if you didn't do this, there was a possibility. We know where the actions led. We don't know where the actions would have led if he did it a different way. And that's all I'm saying. Like, if he would have did it a different way, we could have had the same outcome, but we might have had a different outcome.
I think part of that is, Tommy could handle it differently, and part of that is definitely they could handle it differently. And that it is what it is now, and we're all dealing with the aftermath of it. And it sucks. But yeah, if they put out another fucking video and they decide to put out a bunch of shit that, whatever, I'm probably going to talk about it. I won't do another 2-hour video about it. I won't do that, I promise.
Well, I'm going to save you some guesswork and tell you that every time that Tommy makes a video on Intellivision's channel, Pat and Ian make your video response to it. It's going to happen. The audience wants it. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So you should be prepared that it's going to keep coming. Until the console is released and a foregone conclusion, they're going to keep talking about it.
Ryan says Twitter's a shit-talking battle royale. I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. That's funny. Oh, man. Okay, so, Tony, do you have a final summary or a point you'd like to make about this discussion before I kind of close things down here?
You want my closing arguments, Judge?
Well, if that's the way you want to do it, okay. I mean, however you feel like you want to talk. Just whatever you feel like kind of closes things out here.
I'm just a simple country YouTuber. I don't have them big fancy lowering degrees like Cyrus. I just want to make content and make people happy and be entertained. And I'm saying, some people are going to not like the Amico. Some people are going to like it. You guys don't need to attack each other over it. You guys just need to accept that people have different opinions. People have different experiences, different personal outlooks. But one person values as a good deal, another person's not going to value as a good deal. And that's just the way it is. And this whole escalation of people fighting each other and getting in the comments and making fake accounts and getting accounts banned and then getting new accounts. And then, a lot of times you think that you're doing good by responding. Like Relic, he really loves the Amico. He thinks he's doing a good job by responding to every comment that the haters make. But you're just throwing more gas on the fire. You have a fire. It's out of control. You don't put it out by throwing gasoline on it. Okay? Sometimes if you ignore people, and I know it's hard, and you think no, this is the wrong thing, but if you ignore people, sometimes they get bored and just go away.
I can't disagree with you. I mean, I'm not gonna say Relic. I'm not gonna say that. I like Relic. I think he's a good guy. But I understand where you're coming from, and I get your point. Is there anything else?
Here's another thing. I mean, okay. I don't think some people realize this, but Pat and Ian don't make 5 videos a week. They make one video that they chop up and they post it during the week. Because I've seen people Pat's wearing the same shirt all week. It's like, no, Pat made one video that was 2 hours long that they cut up into segments. But it's a podcast that's available every Tuesday.
You know what? You know what? That's what I should do with my 2-hour response videos. I should cut them. No, I shouldn't do those videos. I'm sorry. I mean, to continue. I'm sorry.
I mean, if you do a response video, the best way to do a response video is not to. I mean, I've done it on lazy where you just kind of click and play and talk. But you probably should just condense their points in a little bullet list and go, he said this, no, and then you could just give them in the description. Here's the video that I'm replying to. Here's what they said. Here's my disagreements with them or my opinions that differ from theirs. Go and check out their videos and see if I was wrong or they're wrong or whatever.
You know who does a good job of that is Retro Bro. Like his responses are like that. He'll have like a list and he'll read it and he'll be like, okay, question. Here's the first thing. Here's what I got to say. Here's the next thing. I got to learn from other people. I really do. So good call, dude. Good call.
I mean, I've done it where I just sit there and like I think I responded to your video that way, but that's because I'm lazy sometimes. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to watch it and then write things down because, like I said, I do.
I do like the Photoshop of me being a pirate. I might steal that.
I'll send you the image if you want.
Yeah, dude, send it to me. Yes, this can be like a thing. This can be a thing. I appreciate that.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I do unedited. That's kind of my thing. So unscripted, unedited. So for me to sit down and be like write points that kind of goes against what I'm trying to do on the channel. Because part of what I'm trying to do is to bring back old school YouTube, where it's not this overly produced content that's like television grade. It's just supposed to be raw, gritty. Some guy with a camera with a mic talking on the internet and giving you his opinion.
Well, yeah, and I think what we talked about earlier was a good thing, like drawing a distinction between the different types of content that you make. It's a very good idea.
Yeah, I gotta do that. I'll probably put a little disclaimer somewhere on my logo.
You know what? I need to do something like that myself. Like make sure everybody knows. I thought it was pretty clear, but now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it is a good idea to put some kind of a something saying this is an editorial opinion about whatever. You know, something like that. Maybe it's a good idea for me too. You gotta think about that.
And I've had a criticism from I think Relic in the past. I'm not trying to call him out. I'm just because I know that he said it. Like I've been negative towards the Amico and I've not been negative towards other things. And I think, I mean, I don't know if these people don't look at you. Look me up, you research, you did some digging, but I don't think a lot of other people do that. Like they just assume that because they don't hear about the other stuff I've said about Sony or Nintendo or whatever. They just think that like I only talk negative or bad about the Amico, and that's not the case. Like if there's a story, like I was planning on doing something about Capcom before we planned this interview because they got a new policy about streaming. It's really bullshit. So I was planning on talking about that today because I will be negative towards other companies. It's not just Amico. It's not just Tommy or the Intellivision brand or whatever.
John says there's only one thing that can save us all: John Alvarado's mustache.
I've seen pictures of John Alvarado without the mustache, and it is freaky.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Nobody.
No, because like, his mustache is so good. Like his mustache is so iconic.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, it's like Burt Reynolds. It's like Burt Reynolds with no mustache, right?
Yeah, it's weird because like
Tom Selleck. That's a good point. That's a good point. He is his mustache. That's a good point.
Like I said, I wish I had that mustache. Mine doesn't curl like that. And
dude, I have this problem with facial hair to where like literally right where my center of my mouth is, on this side, all of my facial hair is white, and on the other side it's black. So if I try to grow like a mustache, it's gonna look like I don't know, like half white, half black, like half black and half white. It's very freaky. You won't. Yeah, I gotta get some dye maybe. You know, dye my mustache. It's crazy. No, I don't think so. Anything else you want to say?
No, I think it's about time. I gotta get up in 4 hours, so I think it's about time to call it.
Dude, I'm sorry for keeping you so long.
I usually go to bed at this time. That's not. I'm like Tommy. I only sleep 4 hours a day.
Oh, here we go. Let's not do that. Tony, I think this has been a really good conversation. I personally have very much enjoyed talking with you. Everything I can tell from the conversation tells me that you've been honest and open talking with me. And I thank you for that. Thank you for giving me your perspective and clarifying some things. Thank you for, just thank you for this whole thing, dude. It's been really enjoyable.
Thank you, Cyrus, because I mean, there's not a lot of people that would even have me on there. I know, and Max got some shit for having me on there, and even before the streaming started, there was a few people that were like, "Why are you having him on there?" So, I appreciate that you were willing to have me on here and let me speak. There's no point in lying and telling stories and being dishonest. We all have different opinions, we all have experiences, and if we don't be honest with each other, we're never going to come together. We're never going to have any kind of resolution because we're just being fucking dishonest with each other.
That's true, and I hope, Tony, that this isn't the last time that we do one of these, because I really would love to start fresh and start over with you today. So
I will be willing to come on this channel anytime as long as I get 15% of the revenue on the video.
Which, dude, you would be surprised how shockingly low any revenue that I get is. You would be insulted if I offered you. What did you say? 15%, 30%? What'd you say? You might as well say 100%. You would be like, what?
I'm gonna tell you, the money you make off of these videos is probably like triple what I get off of the website. I've literally in a year have not made $100 on the website.
Okay, so we're not that far apart, dude. I'm not lying to you. We're not that far apart. Okay, Tony. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for answering my questions. Thank you for the questions you gave me. Thank you for engaging with the chat room, because I know there's been a lot of good, really interesting comments from the chat room. And we still have a ways to go, right? Trust is a thing that's built over time. We're working on that. And I think there's a ways to go, obviously, but this is a great first step. And I can't in any way say anything bad about this whole conversation. I think it's been great. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been good. Thanks a lot. Sorry, thanks for having me.
No
I'll send you a picture in a minute after.
Yeah. I need a picture. All right. Thank you, Tony. Thanks, chat room. More videos coming soon. For now, I'm Cyrus. And I'm Tony.
I'm Tony.
Okay, this is Video Game Virus. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
And that, folks, was the entire interview. But you know what? If you made it this far into the video, we got a special little treat, because Cy's video is going to be taken down, so the comment section will be taken down. So I'm going to go ahead and preserve the comments on the video as they were originally. So we're going to go ahead and scroll down and take a look at those. We'll go ahead and sort it by new first. Size comment, blah blah blah. You guys can read it for yourself. I'll just scroll down every couple minutes, couple seconds. Lots of TNTB comments. I guess the guy doesn't know how to edit or make all of his thoughts into one. So I'll go ahead and open these up. 5 replies. "21 replies here. And in case you're unaware, I don't think that me and Cy will be collaborating again anytime soon. And that, folks, is the video. That is the comment section. Hope you enjoyed it. See you around next time. You know how we do it on this channel. Love, peace, booty grease. We out this bitch.